Hello, is it working? Okay, we're good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. My name is Shabir from Velo City, and it's now time for Touhou Wednesday. Guys, thank you so much for being there. Appreciate it big time. So, bro, I have no... There's something that always goes wrong when I start my Touhou streams, isn't it? It always seems like there's something that happens. This time around, I don't know why, but YouTube sent me over to like a default stream key, even though I know I selected the right one, but... What can I say, man? It's a small indie company, bro. Anyways, hello there. How's it going? Ghost of Min. Hello, Theodore. Hello, Dash. Hello, Francis. Hello, Zekrom. Hello, Krim. How's it going? Welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome. Touhou's guys, perhaps. They do have yokais and that, so I would not be surprised. Nah, I'm kidding. All right. Excuse me. Guys. Thank you once again for another Touhou goal completely filled before we even start the stream. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. I mean, you know what this tells me is that we gotta make the goal longer. Like, we need to have longer streams. That being said, I am trying to commit to the 2 p.m. starts. It is currently it's just past 2:30, so not bad. We're making it work. We're getting yeah, exactly. We're getting there. And if I start my like my Hololive concert at 6 o'clock or 6:30, that gives us a good 4 hours, bro. Gives us 4 hours to do Touhou, which means it's possible that we could up the goal. But I will let you know. Basically, essentially what we're trying to do right now. Yo, hello there, kids. How's it going? We have a lot of stuff on the backlog for our Wednesdays and Saturdays with the Hololive contest and the regular contest and all that kind of stuff. Once that's cleaned up, which should be soon because we're starting to double bill it. Oh yeah. Thank you for that. I will always forget to do that. I appreciate that. Well, yeah. Once we've got that cleaned up, right? I think it's possible we might be able to make Touhou longer. I'm just saying. So, thank you very much, you guys. Appreciate it big time. Thank you once again for the goal being completely smashed. But without further ado, shall we get started? Not the playlist just yet. We have some more reading to do. I am very excited. Oh, look at DM. What do you got for me? What do you have for me? Perfect. Thank you for all the links. I have all of them opened up. It says there's one video. Okay, no, it might be hidden for you, but me being from the UK, I think everything is available here, so we got on that one. All right, guys, it is now time for Cage in Lunatic Runa Gate. Okay, so this, if I'm not mistaken, is the novel that is right after the manga that we read, right? The manga that we read last week. So, for a streamer that can't read, you guys have been enjoying my read-alongs. I'm just saying, bro. Credit where it's due, you know? But all right. Guys, just let me... This is the link that's been sent to me. Krim, thank you very much for the request. Appreciate it big time. This thing needs a lot of zoom. That is true, but I think that's quite difficult for me to read if I'm that zoomed in. So it's a bit awkward. I don't know. Krim, do you have any version of it where we don't have the like the JP, like the original? Because this is quite difficult for me to read. I have to say. Yeah. So not that I know of. Yeah. As a visual novel connoisseur, this is my cup of tea. Ghost of Min. Tell me about it, man. I grew up with my Spice and Wolf visual novel, so that's how I read it. Yeah, you know, I assume you read it like this or something, but that's a bit harder to read on screen. But I can't zoom in I can't read it like this. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually, you know what? Maybe I can. But that's probably as zoomed in as I can get without it like messing up my eyes. Okay, we'll give this a try. See how it goes. Okay, anyways, let us start. Can I not control that? That's exactly what I'm doing. Control plus. Yeah, that's what that's doing. It's because of the way the flex boxes are on the page. Yeah, you can always open a Google document. I mean, even. Yeah, it copies all of that. I mean, machine translate. Right. No, but the thing is, like, you guys reading it on screen, I assume you have it like open up like this, right? But that will look a bit bad on in the picture-in-picture, so I'll have to like zoom in a bit. But yeah, that is not legible for me, bro. My eyesight's already ass. Come on. Okay, I think this is the best I can do. All right. I mean, bro, hold on. Open it up yourselves. Follow along. It's fine. You don't have to read it on my screen. Anyways, okay. We have some BGM though. So, shall we get started? Guys, housekeeping as well as always. I believe everything else in the playlist is music. So once we finish off with this novel, we'll be heading on over to Twitch. Reading the book exactly. We'll be heading on over to Twitch for the music section. Be sure to follow us here. Sorry, the thumbnail is wrong. I forgot to put part 2 on there, but the title's correct. So there is that, and also yes, VOD channel as well. This is where all the VODs will be uploaded for the stuff that we do on Twitch. So there you go. Follow, subscribe. Maybe swapping the maybe swap the windows. You on smaller window. Oh, so this should be 3 chapters. 3 chapters in 1 and 30. Maybe we could get to chapter 4 if we're fast. Oh, fair enough. All right. Oh, okay, 1 hour 30. Right. I think what we'll do is basically this is my first ever time reading a novel on stream, right? So what we've done is we've done a rate of like 6 quid per 1,000 words. Is that right, Krim? So we'll keep it as that, so we can standardize. We can, like, you know, use it as a baseline to see how things should work, how it should work. But yeah, all right, cool. Okay, without further ado, though. Oh, and yeah, an hour and a half. You think we're fast? All right, well, let's see. I mean, I'm an avid reader. Like, I did get through medical school after all, man. We had to read a lot of books. They were boring ass books, but we still read them. And I read all of Spice and Wolf as well. So I am a reader, contrary to popular belief. I am a reader. But all right, guys, shall we get started? Here we go. Let's put on the BGM and let's kick it off, baby. Let's do it. All right, there we go. Thank you for this playlist as well. Let me lower it a bit. There it is. Okay. Right. Oh, that sounds so good, man. Okay. Bro, Krim, give me a second. Hold on. Like, this is so good, man. This just sounds good. I'm trying to see, because you gave me a text file, right? Oh, man, I should have prepared this beforehand. Like, I'm wondering if there's, like, a novel, like, I could just paste it somewhere to read. Guys, give me a second. Let me cook. Let me cook for a bit, because the atmosphere is so nice. I don't really want to read it on a wiki page, if that makes. I mean, I'm grateful for this wiki page. Like, without it, we wouldn't have this. But I'm trying to see if I can like, make the viewing experience a bit better. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. Novel reader text input. There's got to be some kind of, like, there's got to be something, bro. There's got to be something. Ooh. Okay, how about a text viewer? Online text viewer. Let me see. Oh, but the Ooh. Oh, this looks pretty. Oh, but there's no spacing. Wait. Hold on. Krim, you know what you sent me on a text file? Is that everything we're reading today, by the way? I got something. That was just chapter 1. Okay. Yo, hello, the ninja. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Krim, that was just chapter. Wait, so it's 5,000 words. Was that just... You told me it was 5,000 words, right? Was that just for chapter 1? Or was that for all chapters 1 to 3? Oh, shoot. Okay. Wait, so we're only reading chapter 1 today then, right? That's what we agreed on, no? I thought, yeah. yeah, because I'm reading our chat right now. That's what we said, right? Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. I found something as well. Hold on. Let me share it. Let me literally share it right now. Give me a second. So this actually doesn't look too bad, but the spacing, I mean, I can zoom in as much as this, but the spacing is a bit difficult. Yeah, I think this actually does look better in that case. Right, okay, Zekrom, send it my way. Okay, oh. Okay. Zekrom, let's have a look. Right. It's okay. There was always going to be some starting troubles with this one because I've never done anything like this, bro. Never read any novels on stream. Let's see. How do I open this up? Cage in Lunatic. Oh, this is okay. I think this is. All right. No, I can't open this one. It's a the T word. It's a torrent, so I don't think I can open that one up. Yeah, that's all right though. I will maybe I can get that off stream or something like that. Right. No problem. Okay, you know what? I have an idea. Krim, if you could get me like a version of the chapter like this for the next stream for chapter 2, I might be able to format it myself. I might be able to do it myself. Yeah, I might be able to do that myself. Okay, for now though, I think we're okay to read here. Are you guys all right with this one? We're okay to read it here. Yeah, Zekrom, send it my way. No problem. Like we'll work something out. We'll work something out for these. I'm excited, man. I love, I actually do enjoy reading, man. Like all jokes aside, I do enjoy reading. So I'm looking forward to these. Let me check this one. What you sent? Ooh, okay. Oh. Oh, that is an awkward format. What? I don't know what's going on here. It's got some. I'm not a computer scientist. It shows it like that for me as well. I'm seeing some random symbols and stuff. I don't know. It must be some like CSS kind of thing. Yeah. No, that's all right. Let's continue this way. All right, no worries. Okay. BGM, bro. This BGM just sounded so good, man. Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean that's all good. No worries at all, man. Okay. So again, wait, Krim. Just to clarify, right? Because we said, let's see how long it takes me to. It's Zunsim. Okay. Let's see how long it takes me to read one of these chapters. Because we used a rate of like £6 per 1,000 words. I've never done a novel read along before, so well, let's see if it works. All right, here we go. Okay, chapter 1, The Sage's Recollection. The moon shone down on Gensokyo in early summer, bathing the land in a cool white light. As moonlight is much brighter than sunlight to yokai, it illuminated things that they were normally unable to see. On nights like this, the yokai stalk the night paths illuminated by the moon, lying in wait for humans to attack. Ooh. Yokai can see perfectly by light of the moon, but humans' eyes are blinded by the darkness. People can't see the path well in the dark, and they can't easily tell if what's standing before them is human, yokai, or just a stone. As a result, most humans don't travel at night, and the same as always, most humans were shut tight in their homes. Yes? So nobody noticed a mysterious object that fell from the sky at night. Just what was this thing that fell from the sky? At a distance of 10 fathoms, about 18 meters or more, it would appear to be something fluttering like a piece of cloth. Almost like a certain yokai from a story for children, flying freely through the night and eventually disappearing over the shrine. Today is You know what? This is actually not too bad. You got pictures on the... Okay, no, I'm sorry. Guys, can you see it properly on stream as well? I'm able to do this. This is fine. Today is the day of the monthly lunar festival. The festival is held on the night when the earth and moon... Okay, lovely. Earth and moon are closest during the full moon at the time. The festival uses round objects such as dumplings as fake full moons in a symbolic attempt to keep the full moon far away. If the moon is far away, then the moon's emissaries will stay away as well. Of course, I was... Who is I? Who are we? Of course, I was the one who first thought up this festival. Now, the rabbit should be in the garden, pounding rice for the... Oh! Okay. Rabbits should be in the garden, pounding rice for dumplings. The dumplings they make have various sorts of medicine mixed into them, according to my directions. This medicine is significant for two reasons. One is that while we say that the rabbit on the moon pounds rice cakes, they're really making medicine. And the other it's likely that the rabbits will sneak some of the dumplings into their mouth as they make them. Since the dumplings have medicine in them to make the rabbits more excited, the festival will... Okay. Wait, what? They have what in them? Drugs? The festival will be all the more lively. They sneak some to eat, as I expect they will. I see. Right. Yeah. Aiden's perspective. Yeah. Okay. Right. The sage's recollection. I first saw the glimmering cloth in the eastern sky while listening to the rabbit song and gazing at the sky. The cloth shone with a pale light. As the sage of the moon, Erin Yagokoro, I knew that the light shone on the same wavelength as the moonlight, that it was, in fact, a lunar veil. Excuse me, master, the festival has ended with no problems. One of the rabbits entered my room, named Reisen Udonge Inaba. She's the moon rabbit who calls me her master. Her real name is just Reisen, but she lives on Earth now. I gave her a name written in the fashion used by those born on Earth. She originally fled the Lunar War, but I hid the fact that she stumbled upon this house by accident. All of the moon rabbits, including her, have the ability to communicate with each other across long distances. I believe that by hiding her existence here, I could obtain information about the lunar capital. She has indeed been a great help to me. She's done a great deal to help ensure that we can continue to live safely on Earth like this. That was awfully quick, Rayson. I hope you're not cutting corners because it's been so calm lately. Of course not. We've taken great care as usual to make sure the festival ended smoothly. The Earth rabbits were happy to eat their fill of dumplings. Well, good work. Oh, where is our other girl? Rayson's expression darkened a bit on hearing my question. You mean... How do you say her name again? Tay, right? You mean Tay? Tay's off playing somewhere, same as ever. It's easier for her to disappear on festival days. The Princess of the Moon, Kaguya, lived in Gensokyo. Awesome. Hiding for over 1,000 years so that others wouldn't find her. Why did she have to spend those years in hiding? It's because of the grave sin she committed that condemned her to a life of fleeing the emissaries of the moon. If humans knew about her, it would be easy for the moon to find her. That's what we believe. Wow. As one of Princess Kaguya's few allies, I've always been by her side to support her with my knowledge. Fortunately, in Gensokyo, there is a place called the Bamboo Forest of the Lost, where even yokai find it easy to become lost. Deep within the forest, I had prepared a special mansion for the princess where no one could easily come across it. That is this place, Ayente. Ayente is an unusual structure. As long as humans don't find it, its history does not move forward. It's the product of the princess's control over eternity and my own knowledge. That the mansion's history never moves forward means that nothing that occurs here will ever become recorded history. Wow. Okay. For a long time, I lived together with the princess in a mansion where history had been stopped for all eternity. For the first few hundred years, we led our lives in secrecy and paid little heed to the passage of time. But one day, a lone yokai rabbit in white appeared, and everything changed. I still don't know how that rabbit found us out, but it was the first event in Ayente's history since its establishment. The rabbit told us that she was in charge of the Bamboo Forest of the Lost, and it seemed she'd always known we had been living there. Sensing my alarm, she said she had no intention of becoming our enemies, but would help ensure that no human would ever approach if we would bestow our knowledge on the rabbits. Exactly. That yokai rabbit was named Tei Inaba, who now lives in Ayente. Yes, that girl's always been something of a free spirit. I'm something of a free spirit myself. It's such a pain. She just left, even though the cleanup from the festival is nowhere near finished. And of course, all of the other Earth rabbits slipped away with her, so now I have to do all the cleaning up. What has she learned from you anyway if she can't even stay around to clean up? After being so abusive, Raysen remembered that Tay had been at A&T for much longer than she had. Looking uneasy, she added, "It's not that I criticize the education you gave her, Master. Sound like Anakin there. Well, in any case, please go look for her afterwards. Okay, but this has been on my mind for a while. But aren't you a little too easy on her, Master? It would probably do her good for you to scold her once in a while. She won't listen to me, but I think she'd listen to you. Oh, unfortunately, she won't listen to me either. What? Really? Why do we have to keep taking care of her then? It was clear that Tay wasn't just a normal yokai rabbit. Yo, hello. No, we're trying to start our 2 p.m. starts now, bro. Even then, I was a bit late, but still. All the Earth Rabbits listened to everything she said, though there was nothing at all dignified in her appearance. The idea of her being able to control a great number of rabbits at will brings to mind the image of a hermit who has achieved enlightenment. The Earth Rabbits only listen to Tay. Do you know what that means? That Tay is the most powerful of the Earth Rabbits? Without Tay, we wouldn't be able to use him at all, which would be a problem. Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Something troubling occurred to me as we had this conversation. That ray of light was without a doubt a lunar veil. The moon wouldn't send someone all by themselves, but I don't understand the entire situation. I'm sure Tay saw her too, and that's why she disappeared. Anyway, nothing strange happened during the festival, did it? Say, around the shrine, for example? Around the shrine? No, is something wrong? Gotcha. Yeah, Zekrom, send it my way. Send it my way, man. Maybe. Hopefully it's nothing. The lunar veil is one of several vehicles that allow one to travel between the Earth and the full moon. It's often confused with the divine robes of a heavenly maiden, but the latter refers to articles of clothing constructed from cloth with negative... What? Okay. Well, the lunar veil is a massless garment with moonlight woven into the fabric. They are, of course, completely different things. Since the lunar veil has no mass, it's implausible that it would fall to Earth by itself, even in the absence of a downward air current. The fact that it was falling therefore indicates that somebody was using it. I still didn't know who that person was, or whether they be friend or foe. What was certain is that I had no desire to be discovered by the moon's emissaries and forced into a fugitive's lifestyle again. A&T's frozen history had only begun moving again since that incident 3 or 4 years ago, but once it started, there was no going back. Once our history began to move again, we began to live our lives yearning for a way things had been, just like humans. Yet we had no wish to return to the way things had been where our history had stopped. Master, what's on your mind? I still have to clean up from the festival, so I should go back for now. If Tay doesn't come back in a while, I'll go out to look for her. Oh, okay. Interesting. Krim, can you send that my way as well? This is a good way to test things out, and I'm excited to see if I can make the experience even better next time round. Right. Yes, please do. And so Racing left the room. So who are our actors here? We have Racing, we have Tay, we have Kaguya, who's on Earth, and we also have Aiden, right? Okay. I'm just trying to get my head around all the characters for the moon. All right. Okay, perhaps it was because I'd seen the lunar veil earlier, but I was reminded of a long time ago when I lived in the lunar capital as the Sage of the Moon. Then I acted as the leader of a group of emissaries that traveled between the Earth and the Moon. I also had been the teacher of 2 princess sisters since they were very young princesses, other than Princess Kaguya, with whom I now live. The 2 princesses were my distant relatives. To put it in human terms, one was the wife of a grandnephew of mine, while the other was the wife of their son. Oh, marriage mentioned? Yo, they were quite distant relations, but I served as a tutor of sorts to both of them. The older sister was blessed with natural good fortune and never had to deal with any hardship, while the younger sister was extremely intelligent and seemed to absorb everything I said. It was commonly understood that one day I'd lead the emissaries of the moon in their hands. But after Princess Kaguya's great crime and subsequent exile to Earth, the moon changed enormously. Well, that's not quite accurate. I was the perpetrator of that crime. I was confident in my knowledge, and because I was too confident, I committed a minor error. That minor error was to give the Horai elixir, that is, the elixir of immortality and eternal youth, to Princess Kaguya. I made the forbidden concoction, and Princess Kaguya drank it to become immortal, and so she was expelled from the lunar capital. Okay. I regretted my actions, and as a result, when it came time to bring Kaguya back to the moon, I deceived the moon's emissaries and rescued Kaguya. Together, we hid on Earth. Okay. All right, Krim, thank you very much for that. Those who use a whole elixir take on the same taint as humans. I knew that even if Kaguya could return to the lunar capital... Hello there, Salty, how's it going, man? She couldn't live a normal life. I decided that in order to help her live an easier life... I would prepare a place where she could live as a human. I thought that I could atone for my sin like that. Beautiful, good to know. Incidentally, the day before I left for the Earth in my capacity as an emissary of the moon to retrieve Kaguya, I left the service of the lunar emissaries in the hands of the two sisters I've been tutoring. 1,000 years have passed since then, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that they're still angry over my sudden departure so long ago. Excuse me, Master. Racing burst into the room. What's wrong? You're awfully flustered. No, it's nothing important. We have a visitor. She's flustered too, so I guess it rubbed off on me. A visitor? At this hour? Is it an emergency patient? No, it's that troublesome shrine maiden again. It was like last time, wasn't it? She suddenly appeared in the middle of the night. Ah, well, I said, as we left the room. The lunar veil had appeared in the eastern sky, and the shrine is in the same direction. I felt ill at ease. The imposing figure of a human girl with the arms akimbo awaited us in the entryway. She was the shrine maiden of the Hakure shrine that lay on the eastern edge of Gensokyo. Finally, there you are, alien. Oh my god. One of your crew is hurt and holed up in my shrine. Do something about it. No matter where she goes, this shrine maiden seems to start conversations with angry words. Emotional outbursts are no way to start meaningful conversation, but humans don't seem to understand this. Are we sure Reimu isn't like internally American, bro? I'm just saying. That's right, I've got an injured yokai rabbit at my place. Go take her back or something. Wait a moment, Rayson. I thought you said the festival ended without incident. Yeah, that's right. Not a single person was hurt. Rayson answered. Perhaps she's talking about her then? As soon as I said that, a loud voice rang out from behind Reimu as if in reply. I don't know about anyone getting hurt, but I've been listening to your conversation. But as far as I know, none of the rabbits are missing. Only the top half of Tei's body could be seen poking out of the greenery behind Reimu. It looked like even Reimu hadn't realized she'd been there. Right. This wasn't the first time Tei had pulled a stunt. She'd be beside you before you know it, and she'd still disappear just as quickly. Still, you'd always been around when you'd really needed her. Oh, Tei, where have you been wandering around? Well, I guess I haven't started looking for you yet. Rayson began complaining again, but Tei was in no mind to pay any attention to her. Oh, man. Well, the rabbits are always so excited for some reason when the festival's over, but I thought I'd try to walk it off. Tei put her hand on the back of her head as she emphasized for some reason. But she probably knew about the medicine I put in the dumplings to make the rabbits more excitable. Bro, they've been drugged, man. Well, I'm pretty tired. I'm going to rest inside. With that, she stepped into the entryway and made as if to head into the house. I took the opportunity to ask about what had been bothering me before. Just a moment, Tei. Did you see anything interesting during the festival tonight in the east near the shrine? Tei stopped to consider that for a moment. Ama no Iwato wake no mikoto. I saw a god I haven't seen in a really long time, she said, and made her way into the mansion proper. Since she'd been interrupted, I led Reimu into the parlor and asked Rayson to put on some tea. She may say she doesn't know anything about it, but it's a fact that there's an injured yokai rabbit sleeping in my shrine. Well, there aren't any yokai rabbits that Tei doesn't know about. So if she says nobody got hurt, then I think she's probably right. Would it be so strange to think that one yokai rabbit nobody knows could show up? Yokai always turn up like maggots, you know? Hell, it cannot possibly be true. It's much harder for a new yokai to be born than it is for a human. Did this yokai rabbit say anything? She's just been moaning so far. She did have some sort of long robe. The yokai rabbit Reimu spoke of had almost certainly come down from the moon. That rabbit came from the moon. It was very likely that she was the one I'd seen using the lunar veil earlier. I had misgivings about showing a rabbit from the moon where we were living now. It's largely due to Rayson's remarks earlier, how there seems to be a really big disturbance beginning among the Lunarians of the capital. If I were flushed out into the open now, I'd probably be used by one side or another to increase their influence. I had no intention of becoming wrapped up in any sort of conflict. Oh no. I advise you to be careful around that yokai rabbit. I think you're being tricked by a fox spirit or a tanuki. What's that? It's true that Tei knows all the yokai rabbits. If Tei says none of them were hurt, the yokai rabbit at the shrine must be a fake. I see. That might be true. If all the yokai rabbits are fine, then that might be true. She didn't look familiar at all. If she's a fake, then the wounds are probably fake too. She might be eating you out of house and home as we speak. You don't hurry, she'll be gone before you make it back. By the way, on Friday will be a new video from our newest sponsor, Yo Salty. I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about that on Friday as well. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Salty. Alright. You're right. I had to hurry back. Reimu got up and left with an agitated look on her face. The tea is ready, huh? By the time Raisin had returned from preparing the tea, the Shrine Maiden had already vanished into the night. Master, had you already finished talking to the Shrine Maiden? Yes. When I told her it was probably a fox bear or a tanuki, she left for her home in a hurry. A dubious expression appeared on Raisin's face. A fox or a tanuki? Why did you lie to her like that? If that's what happened, they probably would have taken the form of a human. What would they accomplish by pretending to be a yokai rabbit? Raisin, don't be too shocked, but listen to what I have to say. Okay? The yokai rabbit at the shrine is probably a moon rabbit, like you. What? How do you know? I didn't tell you before, but during the festival, I saw someone come down to earth using a lunar veil close to the shrine. Nani? Raisin had used a lunar veil when she fled the moon those years ago. Her lunar veil is still at the A&A, but as she had no intention to return, it's kept sealed away. There are many ways to travel. I'm recognizing these tracks, or at least these motifs, I guess. There are many ways to travel between Earth and the Moon, but as the lunar veil is the most primitive, it's fairly time-consuming. It's a method that's... It's a method that's primarily used by... Wait. Do I have an intimate connection with this track? Or am I just making that up? It's a method that's primarily used by moon rabbits. Okay. I don't know why she decided to come here, so I don't want to let her know about A&A. That's why I chased away that Shrine Maiden with those lies. You mean... This is Touhou 8. Okay. Damn, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like I know this quite well. Okay, alright. You mean the moon rabbit is at the shrine now? Maybe it's one of Raisin's acquaintances. Even so, bringing her into the fold so quickly would be dangerous. Nobody can say what might happen. I was a fugitive on the run from the emissaries on the moon, and Raisin had fled the moon basically during the lunar war. Basically, neither of us wanted to be found. That's true. I wonder what happened. What we should do. I wonder if I'd be punished too. I'm back. Thank you for the ASI. You're very welcome. Kensuke. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I wonder what happened. What we should do. I wonder if I'd be punished too. Raisin had forgotten to set down the tea service earlier, and I could see it trembling in her hands. Raisin, there's nothing for you to be afraid of. Just do as I say, and nothing will happen to A&A. I'm sure of it. But first, what should we do? Technical support ASMR. Oh man. First, I want you to set the tea down here and drink it slowly. Raisin's smile returned, and she slowly sipped some tea. Once she'd regained her composure, her question of what should we do returned as well. First, you should ask the rabbits on the moon to try and get some information. Okay. You said earlier that some new force is trying to exert itself on the moon. I'd like you to find out anything you can about that force or who's behind it. That's an easy request. Still, the information's only as good as the rabbit it comes from. Rabbits love lies, gossip, and rumors. So it's hard to take much stock in what they might say. Still, there's no smoke without fire, and there's usually a kernel of truth at the heart of any rumor. But you absolutely must not talk to the rabbit at the shrine, even if she tries to talk to you. But why? Because that would just start more rumors. Make sure you do as I say. Who knows what will happen if you don't. Raisin left the room and started speaking while facing the full moon. This method seems doubtful to the uninitiated, but this is how the rabbits can speak to each other over long distances. I watched her and planned our next move. Okay. Just what could this new power trying to gain control of the moon be? If it were an influence from the humans of the outside world, like in the last lunar war, it wouldn't be a problem. Long ago, the humans had made it to the moon's surface and claimed it as their own by planting a flag. Shout out my boy Neil Armstrong! They were probably impressed by their own science and thought the moon really was theirs. But if you know where to look, the moon's technological prowess was far beyond that of the Earth's. The humans had spoken of building a base on the moon, but... Speaking of which... Wasn't there just an announcement saying that they were gonna do some live streams from the moon or something like that? Like from a moon base something. I don't know the name of it. I swear that just happened, didn't it? Or am I I didn't verify that information, by the way, so I could be spreading misinformation. But humans had spoken of building a base on the moon, but in the end they ran back home before ever deciding on a place. Right. Or even acquiring the means to do such a thing. Right. I saw an article today, if I'm not mistaken. It was a terrible defeat for the human. Ah, man. Yeah. The humans' lunar landings were reported as a great success in the outside world, but their failures were not. The humans kept losing after their first landing, so eventually they stopped returning to the moon. And we who'd remained in contact with the moon knew how every time they tried to establish a base, they'd failed. Has anyone seen... Has anyone seen For All Mankind? It's basically an alternate take on history. If, I believe if the US lost the lunar race, I don't know if that's like that, but it's essentially, right? It's if, humanity still plays great importance on space travel and like landing on the moon and stuff like that, rather than the one and done kind of thing. It was brilliant, man. Brilliant show. I believe season 5 is coming out this year. I'm looking forward to it, man. Yeah, right. Man, like I just imagine what would have happened if like we kept that up, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah. The human lunar landings were reported as a great... Yeah, right. Humans rarely seem to learn. In fact, it's more likely that they're moving backwards. Even if the humans decide to launch another expedition, it wouldn't create much of a stir in the lunar capital. However, it seems that it's not a problem with humans this time. I have a feeling that some sort of internal affair may have sprung up. Aiden? It's noisy tonight, isn't it? I wonder what's happening. A soft voice spoke out unexpectedly behind me. It was Kaguya Horai-san, Princess of the Moon, and the Mistress of ANZ. Kaguya, it seems something may have happened all of a sudden in the lunar capital. So that was the lunar veil earlier after all. Wow. No. No, we walked on the moon for the first time, then got bored and called it again. That's what I'm saying, man. We should have done that. I wish we... I think it would have been so cool if we established bases there and stuff. That would be sick, man. You could learn so much about extra... interstellar travel. Intrastellar travel, I guess. But yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, Zekron, please do. So that was a lunar veil earlier after all. So you saw it too? Thank you, Zekron. Appreciate that. I did, but I couldn't tell. But the Lunarians were like, that is true. You know what? Hey, yo, but what if you get some cute bunny girls, bro? I'm just saying. I would sign. I volunteer as tribute, man. I did, but I couldn't tell what it was, so I didn't think much of it. It was very beautiful, though. Kage had a very laid-back personality for a fugitive. This hadn't always been the case. Perhaps she just led a peaceful life for too long. That's what I'm saying. Bro, let's form our own expeditionary unit. It seems that a wounded yokai rabbit was the one using the veil. She's at the shrine now. A lone yokai rabbit. It seems like this happened before, a long time ago. Oh, you mean Raisin? Hey! We were both very suspicious in that time too, but in the end it turned out to be no problem at all. It was a full moon, like tonight. On the night Raisin first came to this manor over 30 years ago, when Tay, who watched over the forest, told us an intruder from the moon had appeared, we spent a long time worrying over whether to meet her or what else we might do. Yeah, that's why they say even if the humans were landing, then it's no big deal, right? Oh, sorry, excuse me. Water break. Oh, by the way, do we have any fellow, like, Englanders over here? It was hailing today. Like, the hail was bad, bro. I was like, what the heck is this? I haven't seen hail in, like, ages. I feel like for a lot of you Canadians, you're like... You lightweight. Oh, man. Okay. Aiden, we were worried that time as well, but we were better off having met her. Raisin is truly our ally, so why don't we go meet this moon rabbit? Really? Oh, my God. Oh, snap. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so there a storm going around somewhere here? Somewhere around, like, this area? It was literally for, like, 10 minutes. 10, 20 minutes for us, and that was it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, stay safe, y'all. Okay. Kaga, you don't seem to be fully aware of your position as a fugitive. I don't think you'd be able to get off easily if you were found by the moon's emissaries. There's nothing wrong with a little caution. I got woke up. It was loud in my bedroom, bro. That sounded a bit mad. The hail was loud on the windows of my bedroom. Ay. Kage simply replied, Erin, you love to worry, and began to drink some tea. Well, why did you decide to meet with Raisin then? She asked presently. Really? That's, yeah, maybe I should have just continued on. That's, yeah, it's cold. Like, I'm back with my winter attire, bro. It is cold. Why did you decide to meet with Raisin then? She asked presently. Because I wanted to know what was happening on the moon. Moon rabbits had that special ability after all. Didn't you think what might happen when she decided to turn us over to the emissaries of the moon? Of course I did. In fact, that is the reason why I'm being so cautious now. If she decided to turn against me, then a single rabbit wouldn't be too much for me to... How cold. I realized that Raisin had disappeared from outside the window. She must have finished her conference with the moon. Excuse me. Oh, Princess Kaguya is here too. So, when... Does this mean it's a new, like... Just trying to understand the way it's written. The way it's laid out, I guess. This little gap here. Okay. Raisin, have you finished your conference with the moon? Yes, I found out something important. Raisin stole a glance towards Kaguya. Perhaps I should come back later? Please go on. Kaguya knows most of what's going on, after all. I see. Well, I'll start with the current state of affairs in the capital. Basically, there's a big uproar over the discovery of traces of invaders from the Earth. Invaders from the Earth? I thought this was surely some sort of internal squabble, but seems to be the work of the humans from outside again. According to Raisin, there seems to have been another invasion from Earth. The invaders' objectives appears to have been to occupy the lunar capital, which is all well and good, but the next part is the real problem. Now, please don't make assumptions like that. There's a rumor that some of the moon rabbits are helping the invaders, and the rabbits are being unfairly put on trial, one after another. How terrible. It's like some sort of witch hunt, Kaguya said as she drank her tea. I could see where this conversation was going. If I was right, Raisin knew the gravity of what she was saying too, and they're all talking about me like I'm some sort of spy, all because of my connection to Earth. Just as I thought, well, not like there's any helping it. Raisin did originally betray the moon to come here, and she still talks to the other rabbits fairly often. I see. I think I know who that rabbit in the shrine is now. What? How do you know that? Well, she's either run away because she was wrongly accused of being an anti-Lunarian spy, or she really is one, which might make it worth our while to try to meet her. Oh, right. One more thing. The invaders are supposed to be yokai. Raisin was acting a little odd. Naturally, I could imagine what she was about to say. No need to say it, Raisin. Of course. The invaders are myself and Kaguya. Ooh. Wait, what? The invaders are myself and Kaguya, right? If Raisin is a spy, of course we'd be the masterminds. But they're thinking that they're the ones that sent the invasion. The sound of the wind through the bamboo forest was like that of swelling of waves at sea. Kaguya remained speechless. Well, of course, Kaguya had likely presumed optimistically that the people of the moon would be able to accept her again soon. Even if that assumption was naive, it's certainly not unnatural to experience some despair after being hit with such unwarranted suspicions. Just the notion of going back into hiding from humans and moving from place to place would be distressing. Raisin, now visibly agitated, implored of me, "Master, what should we do?" Didn't I tell you before? If you do as I tell you, there'll be nothing to worry about. I've accounted for something like this in my plans. It wasn't just a lie to calm her down. I imagined a day like this might come. That one day someone might appear on the moon who wished to try to use us. Use us for their own ambitions. First, gather information. Find out if there really are any invaders, and if so, who they are. Could be a false flag. We should stay hidden until we know that much. But what if an assassin comes from the moon? They won't be able to find this place, Tay. Tay will make sure of that. Besides, I have my own allies among the emissaries of the moon. Allies? Yes, she's probably their leader by now. Though to be honest, I was a bit worried about whether she'd really turn out to be an ally. I hadn't met either of the two princesses since the day we parted over 1,000 years ago. Still, I expected they'd be willing to listen to what their old tutor would have to say. And that's where the two sisters come back in. Right. Oh, actually! Like Zeko, actually! Oh, that's pretty sick. The younger one had been particularly sharp, and I had really no choice but to depend on them. Wow! So it's not just me making the Anakin connection. Well, that's assuring then. But unlike you, Raisin, we have no way to keep in contact. I wouldn't mind having you relay messages for us, but we'll lend credence to the theory that you're a spy. Raisin's expression became serious. That's okay. Some people already think I'm a spy, so I don't care if more people do. You may not care, but we do. Then what should we do? We'll ask the rabbit at the shrine about what's going on. It would be the best for us if she decides to cooperate. Raisin clapped her hands and exclaimed, "Oh, I forgot about her. The rabbit has a lunar veil, so she can go back to the moon. I'll have her deliver a letter for me." I wrote a letter. As proof that it really was Aiden from Yagokoro, I opened with reminiscence of about the princess's youth. As I wrote, I became afraid that somebody might read it or alter it en route, so I fixed a quantum seal. A quantum seal is a special type of seal that uses the state of the subatomic particle inside the letter to keep track of how many people have read it. Hey, yo, better explain than the MCU, man. That's all I'm saying. This device was an invention of mine, and since I'm still the only person who can make one, it also served as proof that I wrote the letter. I set 2 or 3 other devices to it as well, and finally sealed it with medicinal herbs. Unfortunately, I can't expect a response to this letter. Officially, the moon's emissaries are charged with my arrest. Writing a response to this letter would be a dangerous thing for the princesses to attempt. The moon dipped below the tops of the highest bamboo trees, and the eastern sky began to glow with a faint light. Once day broke, I would head out for the shrine. Thinking about how I'd been dragged into another lunar war, I vowed to catch the culprit who was trying to use us to end to their own ends by my own hand. Woo! God damn! Alright, well, it looks like the timing was perfect for that as well, actually. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, that's crazy. Alright, so chapter 1, 2, exactly 30 minutes with plenty of yap. I think we could probably do chapter 2 and 3. We could, but would it not be better to keep it for like the next day? Because the goal's already filled. And wait, Krim, just correct me if I'm wrong. How much did you send in for chapter 1? It was right. Okay. Oh wait, yeah. Wait, hold on. That's perfect. Yeah. No. That is perfect. What am I talking about? Yeah, that's fine. All right, guys. Sorry, Krim. I think I was like bugging out or something. I thought you said in 30. That is completely my bad, man. I just realized. Yeah. Of course. No, bro. I'm so sorry for making you think otherwise. Yeah. My bad. Evidently, I'm still a bit sleepy. All right. On to the next chapter. Let's go. Yo, I'm in reading mode right now. Zekrom, man. I'm not in mathematics mode. Okay. Krim, thank you very much for this, man. Appreciate you massively. All right, let's continue on. Here we go. Chapter 2, Gem of 3,000. Because basically, Krim, what happened was I was looking at our DMs. Yeah. Oh, let's have a look. How was this? How was this, by the way? It wasn't too bad to read. Right. Hold on, Krim. Let me just see this. Ooh, you formatted it nicely as well. All right. Right. I'm gonna try this other one, guys. Let me know what you think. Yeah, Dash, definitely, man. Excuse me. Why is it not working? Exactly. There we go. Let me just open it up on the side. Ooh, that looks pretty good. I can't lie, bro. Okay. All right. Huh? It's still. I think. All right, guys. Opinions. I would probably keep it this. It's a bit tough to read, actually, with the formatting. Should we go back to the other one? Wiki was fine. Yeah. Wiki was fine. Yeah, let's do Wiki. Krim, thank you, man. I appreciate that, like, for testing it out anyway. I do appreciate that. Right, guys, let's go. I'll try the link I found. Okay, let me have a look. Oh, let's have a... Oh, I see. It's an EPUB file. Oh, and PDF. Oh, no, it's still thing format. Column format. Yeah, in the one you sent, Zekrom. Hold on. Line spaces. Yeah, Jeremiah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm wondering for the other one. Let me check this text file though. Yeah, but I see what's happened is like they're all in fact, Krim is the only one that's done it in this format. Everyone else has it in like that column format. Krim only has this because he manually separated that. No worries, no problem at all. Wait, hold on. How many chapters is this entire thing? Is there going to be more sessions after this one? Because Krim, if you can prepare something like this for me for chapter 4, I'll see what I can do. 8 chapters overall, yeah. I want to see if I can cook because like I like this a lot. I really like this a lot. Okay, I might have something nice for you guys next week. But all right, thank you. We'd appreciate that, man. All right, until then, we'll continue reading on the wiki. Rightio. Chapter 2, Gem of 3,000 Years. Yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, people always underestimate how pleasing to the eyes proper spacing is. Speaking as right, yeah. Dash? Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where you don't realize it until you see, like, not well formatted stuff, right? You're like, oh, whoa, this doesn't look normal to read. This looks difficult to read. But yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's crazy. As a reader, obviously, I don't write, but like reading, you're like, wait, this doesn't look right. But yeah. Crazy. Okay, chapter 2, Gem of 3,000 Years. All right, whose POV are we here? The bamboo forest was enveloped in a deep fog, and a human lost in it would be fooled into believing that it stretched endlessly in all directions. The wild bamboo doesn't form any paths, the ground gently rises and falls in hills, and there aren't any proper landmarks. Yeah. Oh, I do it myself, but it's a shame that SPONSA doesn't save it. Part of the reason I'm going to start doing docs from... SPONSA doesn't save what, by the way? Say... Let me know, because if you have feedback for SPONSA, I'll be down to, like, you know, do some testing and check it out. There. Yeah, Kenzuka, that's what happens to me as well. Yeah. Oh, oh, are you talking about in sorry, like over here, right? Over here. I'll have you know, the new version of SPONSA 2.0, it does save spacing. Like, I'm glad it does, man. Oh, you bet it's Kaguya. Okay. All right, let's continue. Chapter 2, Gem of 3,000 Years. The bamboo forest was enveloped in a deep fog, and a human lost in it would be fooled into believing that it stretched endlessly in all directions. The wild bamboo doesn't form any paths. The ground gently rises and falls in hills, and there aren't any proper landmarks. Even if you try to walk straight ahead, at some point you end up back at the same place. Such qualities has given it the name, the Bamboo Forest of the Lost. In the Bamboo Forest of the Lost lies my residence, Ayente. I've lived here for quite a while, but the time has only begun to move for me since that incident occurred. Since the people of Earth attacked us 2 or 3 years ago, I've lifted the spell of my eternity over Ayente. I did this because I was so fiercely jealous when I saw the cooperation between the humans and the yokai. I felt so foolish for living in fear, living hidden in fear of the moon for 1,000 years. The spell of eternity is a spell that halts the progress of history, denying any sort of change to preserve purity. This art is so good. Living things stop growing. Food never spoils. Fragile things don't break, even if dropped and spilt water returns to its glass. In my self-awareness as a Lunarian, I was afraid of the impurity of the earth and cast a spell over every... God, this OC is so good. Krim, could you let me know, if you do know, yeah, where these images would be in relation to the text? I assume, like, it's after a page of text, it would be on the other page or something like that, right? Like, I'm actually, like, I want to try and cook a document for this. I want to see if I can get it done. All I'm doing is spacing things out, by the way. I'm not doing anything crazy, but I want to see if I can do it for chapter 4. That's what, yeah, that's how I remember from Spice and Wolf. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yo, I'm telling you, man, I was an avid reader back in my day, bro. Back in my day. Yeah, Zekrom, yeah. Living things stop growing, food never spoils, fragile things don't break, even if dropped and spilt water returns to its glass. In my self-awareness as a Lunarian, I was afraid of the impurity of the earth and cast a spell over everything in the manor. But when faced with the charms of the earth, I undid it myself. Bro, tell me about it. I think I'm one novel behind for Spring Log, Spice and Wolf, so I might have to get back into it, man. Yeah. As a result, Ayente was too enveloped by the impurity of the earth. Food rotted if you didn't eat it quickly. Living things began to age naturally, and you had to make sure to carry valuable vases. Vases, I forgot how we say it in Britain land, with care. But in return, our restless days of living and hiding from the moon's emissaries became cheerful and enjoyable. No, you're right. No, I'm actually an entire novel behind. And so Ayente and those of us living there became a part of Earth. We can never return to the moon, but I have no regrets. There is a particularly odd bonsai plant in Ayente. Its coral-like branches bore no fruit or flower, and at a glance it looked as if it could only be dead. But I know that this bonsai will someday blossom and bear splendid fruit. I also knew that it wouldn't flower unless certain conditions were met. However, those conditions were beginning to take shape. Tonight is the night of the harvest moon. We'd intended to hold our monthly lunar festival, but due to the inclement weather, I decided to go to Aiden's rooms to hear her plans for the evening. It looks like we won't be able to see the harvest moon this year due to rain. I said this as if I were disappointed, but in truth, I was a bit relieved, though I used to fear the nights when the harvest moon shone down brightly in the past 2 or 3 years. I've come to enjoy watching the full moon. This change is a bit frightening, but more than that, it was more relieving not to have to worry about being seen by the moon. It's best if the moon is hidden away behind the clouds anyway. A series of light rain showers have been falling off and on lately, making it feel like we'd entered the autumn rainy season. I felt like there hadn't been very many sunny days this autumn. Today we had no exception, and small showers have been falling off and on since the morning. Oh, Aiden, maybe we should tell the Inabas to be careful not to let themselves catch a chill during today's festival. No, Kaguya, I've already told them we'll hold the festival indoors if the rain worsens. I'm sure they wouldn't want to make dumplings in the rain. That's true, they wouldn't want to eat dumplings that were made in the rain. I can't help thinking Aiden's... Oh, are we done? Oh no, we only have a couple left. Krim, you have another playlist for me? Alright, we just repeat this one. That's true. Yeah, I can't help thinking Aiden's been acting more kindly towards the rabbits lately. Ah, my guy. Alright. Long ago, beautiful. Thank you, man. Long ago, Aiden treated all of Earth's creatures, not just the rabbits, as nothing more than her hands and feet. Even in the lunar capital, the Lunarians saw the rabbits as nothing more than tools, so I suppose it's no surprise. Lunarians are of such a higher class than the people of Earth, it's not an exaggeration to say they're in a different dimension entirely. I suppose at some point Aiden began to start seeing us Lunarians and the creatures of Earth more as equals. This is probably due to having lived in Gensokyo, where yokai and humans live together as equals. That's not a bad thing though. It's more comfortable to me than being treated as special, since Aiden and I are the only two Lunarians in Gensokyo. Believing us as being superior to the people of Earth would only lead to isolation, and she would have too many tools if that's all she saw the Earth people as. I don't want to dwell much on what's happened long ago, but I've never been seen as equal to anyone on Earth. Even when I was exiled to the Earth after committing the crime of drinking the Horai elixir, not a single person treated me as a normal human being. This is Phantasm Machine, Phantom Factory. We have 2 tracks left. Let me open up this next one as well. Exactly. Hello there, PC Rockefeller. Welcome to the stream. As a matter of fact, when I first came down to Earth after being exiled, it was in a bamboo forest under a thick fog that just like this one. I remember how the old couple that found me were especially careful when they picked me up. It's only natural. I was found inside a glowing bamboo shoot in the forest, too small to be thought of as a human being. So I wouldn't be surprised if I had taken as some sort of yokai. I wonder why the old couple took me home and cared for me in an age where humans were often caught and eaten by yokai. Oh. You're lucky we're not streaming on YouTube because the Suisei waiting room is... No, that's intentional. That is my, it's the same waiting room I've had from like Hololive Watch Party from, I don't even know which one, bro. So there's no need for me to change the thing for that, date for that one. The Kaguya Ghibli movie? No, I don't think so. The only Ghibli movie I've seen is Princess Mononoke, and I think I've seen Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Miko is at the right date because I had to make a new waiting room. That's why. For Suisei's one, I used an old one. Hey, yo, Kenzaku, bro. I know what I'm doing, fam. I'm a professional streamer, bro. Oh, Flight of the Bamboo Cutter. Okay. Got you. I believe the reason why the old couple took care of me that they're periodically rewarded by the moon for their foster care. I got the impression that the people of the moon would leave gold in glowing shoots of bamboo, like the one I was found in, as a reward for their care. So they let me live with them because they believed they would become rich. That's why they looked so closely after me and never allowed me to leave the house. They didn't want another household to snatch up the key to their wealth. That's a very cynical way of looking at it, no? Maybe it's true. In addition, I stood out on Earth. Yeah, literally. In addition, I stood out on Earth. I didn't do anything particularly unusual, but rumors spread, and before long, a great number of people had come to see me. I tried to avoid becoming the center of attention on Earth, and before long, feelings of love and gratitude began to emerge towards the old couple in their efforts to help shelter me. As I lived out my days in that fashion, I began to see Earth as a more charming place than the lunar capital. I never used my eternity magic during that time, so I think I was probably weakened somewhat under the influence of the Earth's impurity, even if only the faintest bit. In those days, I still thought of myself as nobility, different from the people of Earth, and I only thought of the Earth people as a means to an end. But Gensokyo is truly a mysterious place. It is a world where humans and yokai live side by side, and where the old and new intermingled. Nobody would bat an eye at the presence of Lunarians or advanced lunar technology. People would just laugh if we said we were some sort of high-class nobles. Yeah. Gensokyo was the place that put me at ease, because even if I didn't spend my time in hiding, I wouldn't stand out at all, especially since I hear the pH levels in the rain is so low nowadays. After all, the Inabas have so much hair. Don't worry, Kaguya. The pH level of the rain in Gensokyo is 6. That won't make any plants wither, so the rabbit's hair won't fall out. Oh man. Speaking of rain, Aiden responded seriously to my joke with, and even if it did, it would be easy enough to make the medicine to grow it back. I want to study to learn a bit more about Earth. Of course, I can't compare with Aiden's intellect. Aiden could come back with a response to any complicated words or phrases I used on her. Honestly, I don't even know what pH is supposed to mean. It is, I forgot what the P is, but the H is the hydrogen atoms, right? Can't remember what the P is. Forgot it, man. This is Chemistry 101, bro. Oh, man. I wonder how she's come to know so much. It's always something I found mysterious. Even back from my time on the moon, she's well informed of the Earth and the moon. And despite living in Gensokyo, she even knows how much about the outside world. I've forgotten. No, not for P in the context of pH on the scale of acid to alkali, right? It's something. I don't know what it is. But the H is the hydrogen atoms, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while, guys. Oh man. I wonder how she's come to know so much. It's always something I find mysterious, even back from my time on the moon. She's well informed of the Earth and the moon, and despite living in Gensokyo, she even knows much about the outside world. However, hello, what's with that, Shabir? How's it going, man? It's cold today, so I've got my winter attire on, if that's what you mean. However, particularly erudite people do have what you might call their own particular habits. They don't typically relay their knowledge in easy to understand fashion. Sometimes they'll say something difficult to understand on purpose to enjoy the reactions of others. I think there's a word of difference between a teacher and a scholar. Okay. Wait, really? Oh, wow, okay. So if it's pH 6, I believe 7 is neutral, right? So pH 6 is just on the acidic side. Oh, that is Kenzoku, forgetting to log out. It means the water is very neutral. It's not terribly acidic. Right. I mean, it's slightly acidic, right? Hold on. I think that's what she means, though. pH scale. Yeah, there it is. Wow, okay. Well, 7 is true neutrality. Yeah, 7 is true neutrality, and anything under is on the acidic side. I mean, 6 might as well, bro. It's freaking milk is 6. Crazy. Yeah. So the pH rating is a measure of how acrid. I didn't know that word. Acrid the water is. This time I'm grateful to Eileen for having made it so easy to understand. And is more basic is the other side of it. Yeah. Oh, see, now we're getting into like wow. Okay, neutral is 6.5 to 7.5. Yeah, that's like when you say like when you say like regular body temperature is 37, but it's actually like 36.8 to 37.2 or something like that. I'm like, brother, why do we have to know it in such like increments, man? Crazy. Oh, you know what? Maybe doing medicine, you probably should, but I'm just saying. It changes as well depending on like what guidelines you're using too, and depending on where you're getting the temperature from, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Oh, man. Acrid is a weak form of caustic. Woo! Today I've actually never heard of that word before. Okay, acrid. All right. Okay. Similar to... Oh. Thank you very much for that. Ah! New playlist time. Let's go. Okay. Excuse me. So rain can become acidic as well. Why don't we have the Inawas make the dumplings inside, even if it's not raining too hard? Arian nodded as I said that. I left Arian's medicine-scented room behind me and went to tell Raisin in the kitchen about the plans for the day's festival. Yeah. Oh, Princess Kaguya, we're almost ready. So Raisin was already wearing a raincoat, and she seemed ready to head outside to pound rice cakes. No, that's okay. Please make them inside today. Huh? This seemed to take Raisin by surprise. This was probably because the only other time we'd held the festival indoors was indoors. The wind was so strong the rabbits couldn't even stand up. I know, right? Master said to stay inside if the rain got too bad, but it's still only a light shower outside, so we're going to go out. The rain isn't too acidic, so you can stay inside. The rain isn't... What is that? A pH level of 6 is... Well, don't worry about it. Just do as I say and everything will be alright. Aiden liked to say things like that. It feels good to say even if there's no reason to do so. It gives you that kind of... you know what you're talking about. The confidence, right? Oh, okay, thank you. I believe we'll hold the festival inside A&T today. Then it might get a little loud though. The rabbits sing songs while they pound rice cakes during the Lunar Festival. It's not really part of the ceremony per se, but the rabbits seem to enjoy it, so we let them be. Well, it might make them more nervous if they did it inside. How strange. Where are we? How strange it should be such a quiet festival, but it's always so boisterous. No, we'll be sure to keep it quiet this time. No, it's quite alright. I know how you all enjoy singing while you pound rice cakes. Well, I won't actually, but Tay and the others never listen to what I say, so if they won't listen to you, then there's no point in promising to be quiet, is there? Just as Raisin said she was very sorry, Tay's voice could be heard calling out through the back door in the kitchen. Is it time yet? Well, in return for the noise, I'd like you to add more kinds of flavors to the dumplings today. That is a simple request. Please let us know if you have anything in particular you'd like. I thought for a while and eventually responded. We have 3 colored dumplings, so why not 7 colored dumplings? I returned to my room and to the task of caring for the unusual bonsai. I just don't have anything to do. Even though it's the day of the Lunar Festival, well, it's not limited to festival preparations. I rarely have any tasks that I need to perform. I get my information about what's happening beyond the bamboo forest from the Inabas, and Aiden takes care of any emergency patients or visitors. Honestly, a life where you don't have to do anything is boring. I think it was the same when I was still in the lunar capital. I became fascinated with Earth due to my boredom, but I didn't understand until I first came here. The lack of anything to do was not limited to my environment, whether the moon or Earth, but it was a personal issue. A heart that relies only on outside stimulation leads to boredom and unease. So in an effort to break through that boredom, I made it my job to care for this bonsai. It really does change your mood to have something you must do every day. It's true, man. It's true. The bonsai I've been gazing at so intently never changes no matter how much I stare at it. However, it shouldn't be possible for anything on Earth to remain unchanged. Anything with a form will erode, and anything that lives will die. This is a fate that nothing on Earth can escape. Aiden told me this is because of the impurity that permeates all things on Earth. Impurity steals the eternity from all things, life force and physicality, and at the same time, it plunders from their lifespan. Since all things on Earth are tainted in this similar manner to some degree, nothing can last forever, and of course, nothing can remain the same forever. However, the bonsai before me is not tainted. It has been able to preserve its eternity. It appears unable to grow, not because it's already dead, but because it's still full of eternity thanks to my power. My power is the ability to control eternity and the instantaneous. It gives me the ability to create a pure eternity that could never exist otherwise on the Earth. In fact, this bonsai is a plant that only grows in the lunar capital called the Udonge. It has the same name as a legendary plant on Earth that's said to flower once every 3,000 years. The plant on the Earth is a different plant called the Udonge. It takes its name from the plant of legend and only blooms very rarely. Real Udonge is a tree that only grows in the lunar capital. When it blossoms, beautiful 7-colored jewels appear on its branches. The jeweled branch of the Horai that I requested from a man who came seeking my hand in marriage long ago refers to... This sounds sick. Refers to a branch from an Udonge tree that has borne these fruits. The jeweled branch of Horai comes from the Horai Udonge. The Udonge never blooms or bears fruits in the lunar capital. It looks deteriorated, but it embodies the sense of the flow of time. inherent in the phrase wabi-sabi. It only lives, never growing or bearing fruit. But if you bring one of its branches to earth, it changes its form in reaction to the earth's impurity. It feeds on that impurity and begins to grow, bearing fruit into a beloved 7-colored gem. I don't know how a plant that feeds on impurity could live on the moon, on the pure moon, but I'm sure it was created by a certain sage that lived in the lunar capital. As soon as any impurity found its way on the moon, the plant would blossom, allowing it to serve as a detection mechanism. The emissary of the moon typically take a branch from an udonge with them when they descend to earth. Once there, they give it to an authority figure and it reacts to the impurity in that person and bears splendid fruit. The more powerful the person is, the more beautiful the gem born by the branch. Of course, the recipient invariably takes that as a sign of their authority. Still, everything on the earth eventually breaks down. The prosperous will always return to nothing, and even the powerful will eventually fade away. As you know, that reminds me, like there's this saying, right, that says death is the great equalizer, or death is the greatest equalizer, and it's actually so true. It really puts a lot of stuff into perspective. It's such a simple thing, but it's so true. It's crazy. No matter how powerful, how rich, no matter like, you know, how on top of the world you are, bro, everything dies. Everyone dies. We all return to where we came from. It's crazy, isn't it? To nothing. Wow. Even then, the power will eventually fade away. When that happens, the jeweled branch of the udonge will be coveted. Yep, exactly. By many, and a fight over it will ensue. Thus, the peace of the earth is disrupted and turned into chaos. Man said Touhou, making us get philosophical, man. In other words, the udonge is often used as an implement by which the moon causes disorder on earth. It should be easy to understand why this is by examining human history. Human history and growth are both linked closely to strife. Without conflict, humanity would have no impetus for growth. When humans are satisfied with their present condition, they may as well give up on life. The people of the moon spend much of their lives thinking of the people of earth. The history of earth has progressed just the way the moon has wanted it. Kaguya, look! The rain stopped, and you can see the moon through a break in the clouds. I opened my eyes at the sound of a voice behind me. I must have dropped off while looking at the bonsai and thinking, so it has. I must have dozed off while looking at the bonsai. The udonge bonsai I held in my hand still hadn't borne fruit or flower. This was because I'd cast a spell of eternity over the entire mansion, but I had lifted that spell after recent events. In other words, ANT's history had begun to advance. Just like the rest of the earth, soon the impurity would begin to spread throughout the mansion, and ANT would become just another part of earth. It was a matter of time before the udonge blossomed. Thinking on philosophy in Touhou is just another Tuesday. Respect. Oh man. If the outlook Aiden and I held has changed, it's probably the effect of the earth's impurity. Once touched by the impurity of the earth, you can never go back to the lunar capital, but we had no intention to do so. I do feel sorry for Raisin though, who got caught up in our affairs. Thinking of which, Aaron often calls Raisin udonge. I wonder what that is. She must think of her as something to... I hope I'm saying that right, by the way. She must think of her as something to gauge the extent of the impurity that's creeping into us. Or perhaps it's meant to mean that a moon rabbit who knew no impurity on the moon becomes something beautiful when touched by the earth. Ooh. Oh my. Maybe it's because of the rain, but the moon looks so beautiful tonight. Ski ga kirei desu ne. Oh wait, can I read it here? I don't know. Too much kanji, man. Ara, ame ga ri... No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, Aiden smiling replied. I think you say, okay. Nice. Thank you. They're outside already. They're already outside. They seem to be more comfortable outside. I wonder what that means. No matter what you do, you're always more at ease by when the boss is close... When the boss isn't close by. Well, maybe we should have them always hold the festival outside, no matter what the weather. Come, Noaki, or anything else. The rabbits' voices drifted in from outside the window. The singing had been very restraining when they were inside. They seem to be having a lot of fun singing now. Aiden noticed the udonge bonsai. It still hasn't changed, I see. I'm sure it won't be long until it starts growing, and after its first flowers bloom, it should bear fruit to splendid 7-colored jewels. It will be nice, won't it? Yes, it will. The jewel branch of the udonge is a special privilege for the Earth's people. Oh, and I've done something to help give us a taste of that jeweled fruit today. Why am I hearing stack? I asked Raisin to make 7-colored dumplings instead of the usual 3-colored one for today's festival. I see. How interesting. I don't know how much I'd like it if they turned out the same colors as Diodonge's jewels though. Why is that? Because the Horai jewels have colors like blue and indigo. Those aren't very appetizing, don't you think? The rabbit singing voices outside became more intense. The sounds they made pounding dumplings sounded just like a Japanese taiko drum. The rabbits have a mysterious ability. Even beyond telepathy, they're able to maintain a strong connection without exchanging a single word. Raisin can communicate with the rabbits on the moon, and Tay... Yeah. Am I also hearing... No, it's V Mario is what I'm thinking of, actually. Yeah. Who's the rapper group as well? Is I forgot the name. Is it B Mario or is it someone else? Oh man. Raisin can communicate with the rabbits on the moon, and Tay and the others can all dance in perfect rhythm without saying a word. The rhythm and cyclical nature of the pounding all came together to make a mysterious sort of music. Tama-onsen is who I'm thinking of. Yes. Thank you, me. Aaron and I took the music the rabbits were playing outside with our tea and enjoyed the autumn night because it was a harvest moon. We took some time to relax outside. The rabbits' rhythm tonight is amazing, isn't it? I wonder why that is. It must be because it's the harvest moon. Having said that, Aiden added, just like Kechak, isn't it? I had no idea what she was talking about. Neither me, bro. By the way, Aiden, remember 2 months ago? Doesn't it seem like something's been happening since then? Yes, someone on Earth has definitely been spreading the subject, and everyone's talking about the moon nowadays. That's right. I think it was about 2 months ago. The rumors started of a revolutionary force led by Aiden was going to infiltrate the moon, and that fugitive moon rabbit showed up at the shrine. We heard rumors of internal disorder in the lunar capital before then, and someone was trying to cause unrest in the lunar capital. Perhaps they were using Aiden's name to serve as a scapegoat, or perhaps she just came up naturally. I didn't worry too much about it either. Since Aiden sent a sealed letter to certain people she trusted on the moon explaining the circumstances. But since then, more people have been spreading rumors around about the moon in Gensokyo. But there shouldn't be any humans that know that rabbit from 2 months ago was a moon rabbit. Should there? Well, that probably was an unexpected accident. But it probably wasn't something the real mastermind imagined would happen. I mean, there really is such a person. I just don't have any idea what a mastermind would have imagined. But what if it wasn't an accident and the mastermind planned it too? If that's the case, then I give up. Aiden said, after all, I don't have any other way to contact those girls on the moon, raising both hands to about shoulder height facing the sky. The war on the moon wasn't the only problem. It seemed that the vampire, there it is, was trying to assemble a moon rocket. According to rumor, they were attempting some sort of large-scale construction and had gotten the shrine and Korindo involved somehow. I wonder if that vampire is behind it all. They say that they've almost finished developing a moon rocket, and trying to invade the lunar capital seems like something she'd do. The possibility is high, but that would mean that using me as a scapegoat, the flag drifting down from the moon and the moon rabbit's appearance were all just coincidences. Why is that? I had an idea of what I answer would be, but I was a bit disappointed to hear the response as I'd expected, because that child doesn't know anything about any of those. The loud resounding sounds of the pounding had turned into the chattering voices of the rabbits outside. It seemed this month's festival had ended without incident as well. When Aiden and I went outside to check, the dumplings had already been piled up on a large platter. They were indeed magnificent 7-colored dumplings, but the psychedelic colors such as a gaudy red and dazzling blue made them appear quite unappetizing. yeah, literally Zekrom. Oh, Princess Kaguya, Master, we're still cleaning up, so please wait a bit. Raisin ordered Tay to clean up the millstones. I looked to the sky to try to find the wonderful moon called the Harvest Moon, but it was nowhere to be seen. The rain has cleared up a bit, but the moon is hidden behind the clouds again. Yes, it is. It was only out for the briefest of moments. I'd hoped we'd finally be able to sit and watch the moon, but what's the matter? No, just hearing the words, I thought we'd finally be able to sit and watch the moon from a fugitive moon rabbit was amusing, so I couldn't help laughing softly. A little embarrassed, Raisin said, well, if you spend time on Earth, you start to do the same things Earth people do. The Earth rabbits were obediently cleaning up all the millstones. Normally, they'd half-heartedly clean up for a while before disappearing off somewhere. And Raisin was amazed by their obedient behavior. Of course, that was because we hadn't mixed in the usual medicine with the dumplings. Normally, we sneak in something to make them more excitable, as they snuck a few dumplings during the festival to make them more lively. That is crazy. We exchanged it with the strength nourishing medicine because we were too because we were to have some dumplings tonight as well. Without the usual stimulants, the rabbits were more obedient. Still, it seems the rabbits had plenty of excitement during the festival regardless. They can enjoy it so much without us having to add medicine to the dumpling that nothing could be better. Oh, Raisin, I asked for 7 colored dumplings, but they turned out to be truly vivid, didn't they? I added myself. The 3 colored dumplings being peach and white and dark green isn't very appetizing either. Ah, why don't I tell you about them? We made these rainbow dumplings with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. We did our best to find the ingredients to make each of the different colors. We really only had the colors in mind, so you may not think the contents are very appetizing. Do you still want to hear about them? No, thank you. They weren't all that appetizing before I knew what was in them. It would be a shame if I had any less desire to try to finish these tonight. Aiden placed a blue dumpling in her mouth and said, "This is actually really good." This is really good. So Aiden's knowledge is such that he can stand up to any challenge anywhere. I was impressed. Sorry to change the topic, but don't you get the impression that the disorder on the moon is spreading to the earth now? Aiden and I glanced at each other and said together, "It's nothing for the rabbits to worry about." Raisin looked a bit uneasy. Well, I don't know if it's a big deal or not. The vampire's maid came here asking about fuel to take them to the moon. Oh, she came here too? Aiden and I were talking about this before. The vampire is trying to build a rocket to go to the moon. It looks like they're going around trying to find rocket fuel for it. I see. Well, I sent her away. I sent her away immediately when she came here. Why did you send her away? What? Well, there's no reason for us to help Earth the Yokai try to get to the moon, is there? Yeah, and I didn't want to disturb either of you about it. You shouldn't have just sent her away, but sent out tea, not information. A cold wind began to blow, perhaps due to the rain earlier. It looked like we passed another full moon safely. Honestly, I didn't believe we had to worry about someone from the lunar capital coming to find us during the full moon anymore. We believed such things were no longer possible. I wonder how it could be that my outlook changed so much in 3 years after having spent over a millennium in hiding in this manner, behind my spell of eternity. If it's due to the effect of the impurity that wears down everything on Earth, Earth people must adapt quickly to change. They're not always worrying over the same thing, but rather always going from one problem to the next and forgetting the unpleasant experiences. If I've changed this much, I wonder if Aiden has as well. Aiden has been alive for yeah, exactly. Aiden has been alive for much longer than I have. Due to her longevity, even on the moon, she was a key figure in her role as sage. Even since coming down to Earth, she has a way of thinking that's quite different from the humans. That's why I thought that even if I lifted my spell of eternity, she wouldn't change much. I thought that the Earth's impurity had nothing to do with us. Of course, reality was not like that, and one can see the slightest change, even in Aiden's behavior. Aiden opened a clinic on Earth. Now she's well known enough that people in the village refer cases to Aiden that their doctors cannot heal. Wow. The old Aiden would never have thought to do such a thing. Before, she would have only seen them as a means to her own ends. But now she goes so far as to help maintain their health. As for why she opened the clinic, Aiden herself said, "We'll have to live as Earth people now, so we can't neglect our duties towards others. It's customary for Earth people to help others in need," she said. "It must be like that saying, a day's work for a day's bread." I believe I understand that. Even the couple that raised me had their peaceful life taken away by the moon's opulent rewards. Earth people don't expect results for anything beyond their own actions. To do so would be to invite unhappiness. Even though I understand it, I can't put it into practice myself, and I get the feeling there are many people, not just me, who aren't working for the good of other people. When I tell Aiden about these worries of mine, she avoids the question and says, "Kaguya, just worry about doing what you yourself want to do. If there's nothing you want to do, then make finding something to do your job." Oh, okay. Yeah, Zekom, send it all over to me. Oh wow, very interesting. No, I like what we've been doing so far, and I think with what Krim has sent me, like just the text file, I think I can cook something up. Thank you, Zekom, I appreciate that. Kaguya the neat, bro. I still haven't found a role for myself as a member of the Earth Society, but something should start around the time the Udongi blossoms. I thought that the flower might bloom about the time I found something to do. Bro, she's hitting the yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when this happens. She is the royal after all. Raisin, if the vampire server comes here again, I hope you bring them to me. Aiden's advice to Raisin was worded a bit sternly, so Raisin appeared a bit downcast as she said, "I'm sorry, master. Did you want to try to find something out from that maid? I think she intends to come around once more." Aiden replied, "If you bring her to me, I can turn her down politely," and smiled. Raisin seemed a bit more at ease on hearing this and said, "Well then, Next time, I'll be happy to bring her to you. We no longer have the means to go to the moon anyway. That is true, but even so, the vampire will want to know how to get there, Raisin whispered, gazing at where the harvest moon should have been. Aiden, noticing the subtle change in Raisin's demeanor, said this to put her at ease. Anyways, there's no need for you to worry, even if whatever disturbance comes to Earth. Raisin seemed to have achieved some sort of breakthrough and asked her master once more for confirmation. Is that because there's no way for anyone on Earth to get to the moon? Aiden smiled mysteriously upon hearing that and responded, haha, that's not it. We're not members of the Lunar Society anymore. We're just a simple group of humans and yokai living on Earth, so there's no need for us to worry about what happens on the moon. Thank you. Alright, once I heard that, I smiled as well and decided to leave the strange going-ons in Aiden's hands. Oh, I typed in Hurricane the Fall. Yo! What a bang. I love the perspective switches, man. It's amazing. Bro, you guys are so right. There's massive lore drops on here. Oh my god. I didn't know so much about, like, you know what? I probably should open up everyone on the side panel. Hold on. Guys, let me know the characters again. We got Raisin. I'm just, like, opening them up on the side so I can see how they look like. We got Raisin, we have Kaguya, we have Tae, and we have Aiden, right? Okay. Nice. This is good. I'm able to consolidate like so much knowledge now. Thanks to you. Thank you, Krim. Appreciate you big time, man. Tae. Never. Oh, right. Exactly, also true. And that is the ANT crew. Yeah. And who am I missing again? Aiden. Tasukete Aiden. Okay. So this is the Raisin is the one I know the most, I think. Okay, this is Kaguya Hime. Kaguya Horaisan. And this is Tae, okay. And this is Aiden. Okay. Got you. So, silly question. You don't have to be a rabbit to be a Lunarian, right? You don't have to have rabbit ears to be a Lunarian, isn't it? Oh, okay. No, yeah, of course, right? Because we have Aiden and Kaguya right here. Okay. Interesting. yeah, I was gonna say our rabbit's more like the right. Nobility is usually like regular human looking people, right? Okay. Got you. Right. Yeah. Yo, hello there, Ray. Welcome to the stream. Lunar rabbits are different from outright Lunarians. Right. I wasn't sure how interesting this would be as a stream, but then I thought if you were to ever read this, it would have to be now to silence it in a blue. Well, what do you guys think? Like, are you guys enjoying it? Like, I'm enjoying reading it, but it's a completely different experience, like watching it as content, right? So it's if you guys are enjoying it, I'm absolutely down to continue doing this stuff. So yeah, it's entirely up to y'all, man. I like it, and I'm learning a lot from it. That being said, if I was reading it on my own time, I'd probably be rereading a lot of parts just to understand it a bit more. But I hope the experience has been fun for you guys. And if I have any questions, I can just ask you guys. Like, so that works as well. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, man. And the music playing in the background, such a nice touch as well. It's so good. Appreciate that, Krim. Right, guys, we have one more chapter to read. I think I'm probably just gonna go to the toilet real quick. I'll be right back. So we'll finish off this chapter and then we go on to onto the music section. Krim, thank you very much for this, man. I appreciate you massively. Like, this has been awesome, bro. I like listening to radio drama, Saab, but yo, I appreciate it. To even be compared to a radio like drama, right? It means the world to me, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it big time. Thank you. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. BRB. Ooh, I'll just let this play. Actually, no. Just in case. No, we shouldn't get copyrighted for this anyway, but I'd rather not leave it playing on its own. Let me roll it back, though, from here. I'm listening to the original. Nice. I love the change of Scarlet. I'm just taking a quick toilet break. I'll be right back. Let me put the BGM on. Give me like 5 minutes. I'll be right back. And we'll continue on with chapter 3. Let's go. Alrighty, hello, I am back. The one part of the stream that isn't constantly buffering the time when nothing is happening. Ay. Why is YouTube like that, man? Damn, that's crazy. Alright, let's continue. Thank you for the warm welcomes, guys. Alright, let's continue on, shall we? BGM off, other BGM on. Let's go. Yo, Chain Scarlet, thank you so much for the super, bro. Sorry for my sporadic, if not rare participation in these streams. I do live for Touhou Reaction, but the reaction stream for something I've never been a fan of due to my ADHD attention span. Bro, no worries at all, my man. No worries at all, bro. Tune in, tune out whenever you want. There's no obligation whatsoever. Thank you for the super chat and thank you for watching whenever you have time, man. Appreciate you big time. Thank you. All right. What I think I can definitely say is reading this, you're definitely getting more canon lore than what the average Touhou fan can see. Bro, interesting. Most may know the lore through osmosis, but I'm sure a minority have actually sat down and read Cage and Lunatic Lunagate. Got you. I'm very grateful that I've been given this opportunity. Thanks to you, man. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to those that are enjoying it as well. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. Ooh, I like this track. I mean, I've just replayed this one, isn't it? Right, then. Chapter 3, The Dragon King's Palace in the Pure Land. Ooh, okay. A wind-bearing no impurity sweeps soundlessly, causing ripples on the surface of the sea. Nothing else disturbs it. After all, nothing lives in the moon seas. It said that life on Earth came from the seas. Speaking of which, I'm watching, have you guys seen that Dinosaurs documentary on Netflix? It's pretty sick, actually. It's actually pretty mad, bro. Directed by Steven Spielberg and narrated by Morgan Freeman. Brilliant stuff. I'm on episode 2 now, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a banger. It's good. But yeah. Life came from the sea at a time so far in the past that the mind boggles to consider it. A desperate war for survival was unfolding. Yeah, man. Like, how many millions of years ago was that? It's crazy. Creatures who became larger to overwhelm others. Creatures who use oxygen to move nimbly. Creatures who moved to dry earth seeking new realms. Creatures that left the earth for the skies. Many new victors began to appear at the source of all. Whoa, how relevant is this? The seas were also the greatest battlefield. No veteran champions of its history could be said to remain pure. However, there are nearly no impure beings in the lunar capital. So the sea that stretched out before my eyes is devoid of life. Not a single of the creatures from the sea were able to take up residence on the moon's surface. Yes, the sea bears not a single impurity save one thing, the place where it reflects that blue planet. Damn, man. I know, right? Man. Sister, did you see something in the Sea of Tranquility? You've come here to check on it quite often lately. No, nothing happened today either. When I said that to my younger sister, Watatsuki no Yorihime... Are these the sisters, the princesses? Guys, they're married. Don't get any ideas. There have been a lot of rumors causing unrest among the rabbits lately. We should be careful about our movements. It will be fine. There's no need for concern. I see. No, I mean, people suspect us of aiding those from the earth. And that's because... Oh, wait, what does that mean? No, I mean, people suspect us of aiding those from the earth, and that's because of my power, perhaps? Well, maybe because of that, but don't you think your behavior as of late looks suspicious to other people, sister? Well, I'm only coming here to watch the sea, but people think that's suspicious. If you're going to act with such liberty, I believe the rabbits may start wondering if you truly are pulling your own weight. Well, I never was that heavy to begin with. Anyway, don't worry. The future that Lady Yagokoro left for us is still there. Even as I said that, I realized the faintest trace of impurity born in the wind. It was a potent of calamity that only I, Watatsuki no Toyohime, the lunar princess with the power to connect mountain and sea, could sense. Oh, bro, come on. It's Touhou, man. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Was it just my imagination? Oh man, was it just my imagination, or had someone secretly brought the impurity from the earth? Was someone planning some foul deed in the capital? I didn't want to worry Yorihime unnecessarily, so I kept the matter to myself, and together we departed from the Sea of Tranquility. So that's them, yeah? Someone once said, the surface of the moon was a bleak and desolate world. There is no trace of the seasons in which bring occasional discomfort to the living. It's a climate that combines a mildness of spring, the liveliness of summer, the plenty of autumn, and the loneliness of winter year-round. The beautiful peach trees glimmering beneath the blue stars, and of course the lunar capital full of the smiles of rabbits. The rabbits greeted us like they always have. Like they always did as we walked through the streets of the capital. They lined the roads, whiling away the time with activities such as shogi, sipping tea, and napping. Sounds like my kind of time, bro. Even as we cheerfully returned their greetings, we couldn't help but wonder if they were really doing their work. The rabbits of the moon are assigned to work various tasks. Most of them work in agriculture. Oh, here we go, talking about law dropping on rabbits versus, I guess, regular lunarians, right? Most of them work in cultural affairs, but many other jobs are left to them as well, such as medicine making, cleaning, and defense of the lunar capital. Okay, question. Are there rabbit people on Earth, or did they all come from the moon? So are there moon rabbits and are there Earth rabbits that aren't literal animals, is what I'm saying. They're probably the type to know. Tay. So Tay is a Earth rabbit person. And also regular rabbits exist in Gensokia as well, right? Like actual animals exist in Gensokia, right? Yokai Earth Rabbit. Okay. I'm learning so much, man. I feel like this is stuff that I should know from way back when, but I'm able to consolidate a lot of the information now. Okay, if you're confused, Toyohime is the blonde one that looks like Yukari. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, excuse me, Yukari? Yohime is the one that looks like him. Right. Okay. Oh, it's speaking of the devil. Speak of the rabbit. Right. Okay. The rabbits on the moon are assigned various tasks. Most of them work in agricultural affairs, but many other jobs are left to them as well, such as medicine making, cleaning, and the defense of the lunar capital. Since we, the Watatsuki family, are in charge of watching over the Earth, the rabbits we keep at our house serve as lunar emissaries and are trained to do battle, presumably with the Earth if the occasion arises. The lunar capital was a perfect advanced metropolis. Its physical and technological wealth had been established far into the past, which made enhancing its spiritual wealth all the more important. Of course, this is according to the people of the city, but it's important for the rabbits to work towards these ends. However, this perfection would have been unattainable in the presence of any impure living thing. If by some off chance a Lunarian were to become impure, they would be banished to Earth. To the Lunarians, Earth was a great prison. Straya. And we, the Watatsuki sisters, watch over those who are sent to Earth. We return to the mansion, sip tea flavored with peach leaves, and set about planning our defenses. These recent rumors are troubling. When I said that, Yorihime adopted an expression that seemed to question whether I know what I was saying and remarked, "Isn't that because you've been acting too freely of late, my sister?" Oh, wait, what? The chapter in the manga talks about Tay selling an animal rabbit to human as a pet for an objective to populate more yokai. Is that possible? What? Oh god. Or is she being interesting? It's rumored that was spreading among the rabbits. It seemed to have started from the news that the flag that had been planted on the light side of the moon, which he called the Apollo flag, had disappeared. That is so sick, because they must have seen the name Apollo on the spacecraft, on the landing craft, right? Wow, they wouldn't know what the US is, right? I guess. Wow, man. The rumors concern the security of the lunar capital. They were all silly, baseless things that someone is going to invade from Earth or there's a traitor in the capital. But the rabbits were naive and loved rumors, so they believed them. Whether an enemy attack from Earth or a rebellion began on the moon, we'd be the first to... Be the first to fall under suspicion. This was because our duties and abilities aside, we were the most closely related to matters regarding Earth. On top of that, we were the only two still alive who had been raised by the high-level criminal who had been semi-permanently banished to Earth, Lady Yagokoro. Since we had not spent too much time and effort looking for her, it's only natural that people would suspect us. They say rumors are fated to disappear within 75 days, but none of them have actually done so, even after all this time has passed. So I believe it is now necessary to prove to everyone we are innocent. You worry too much, Yorihime. It's just because rabbits love rumors so much. Obviously, an unfounded rumor can still cause panic among society. So we can really afford to ignore the rumors. But on the other hand, we could also use them to our advantage to keep the public under control. I personally think it's better to take advantage of a rumor rather than to deny it. A forceful denial can invite mistrust and disorder. Maybe, but it does not matter if the rumors are true or not. Of course, I don't think they are, but it's obvious that rumors are spreading around the capital now. All that means is we must choose our actions with prudence. We can use the rumors to our advantage. But you know, if we're under suspicion, I can't just do as I please like you, my sister. I can't live a carefree life like that. What? Can't you say it a bit nicer than that? Tea time came to an end and it came time to apply ourselves to our duties. Yet, compared to my sister, who is in charge of drilling the members of the Rabbit Guard, and they just inducted a new member, I, who am in charge of watching over the path to Earth and leading the rabbits we use as emissaries, usually don't have much to do. Ooh, nice, like, comparison to, Earth, right? Usually I would join them in their training. However, since the Rabbit Guard are in a state of emergency preparation now, I decided not to disturb them and stole away to watch the Sea of Tranquility once more. The Sea of Tranquility is a lunar mare that spreads out across the moon on the opposite side of the moon from the lunar capital. Waves rippled in silence across the lifeless ocean. I watched the ocean. Memories of the distant past sprang to my mind. Life was born in the sea, and after a long struggle for survival, the ocean was defiled, and only the victors made it to the untainted land. On land, the epic battle for survival unfolded once more. Some creatures became strong, fed on the weak. Some increased their numbers and were able to lead successors after being eaten. There were even those who cast aside the earth and saw a pure world in the sky. There were even those who few had no competition but lost their ability to adapt and died off. Some even gave up on the earth and returned to the sea. There were very few victors, and most were destroyed in the battle, becoming extinct. Damn! Now we're asking the real questions. The real... But then how do they reproduce? The history of life is a history of conflict. The winners dictate how history is recorded. The earth has become so impure because it is such a blood-stained world. Living things tend to live on forever, but the impurity stole away their longevity. It was a world of the short-lived. Today, Earth had become a place where almost nothing can live for more than 100 years. However, there was a sage who realized that the impurity was stealing life from all living things. It said that while watching the full moon hanging in the sky over the ocean, the sage became determined to free themselves from the impure earth. As if moving from living in the sea to the earth, or from the earth to the sky, this sage left the earth and took up residence on the moon. This sage is the founder of the lunar capital, the lord of the night of the lunar capital, Tsukuyomi. Mad backstory. Lord Tsukuyomi took only relatives he had the utmost truth in and moved to the moon. Usopp, oh my god. That's actually so good. The moon was completely without impurity. As a result, those who had moved to the moon forsook any lifespan. They had no lifespan meant they were neither alive nor dead. In that sense, the moon is a pure land without impurity. It may even be the same as the world in the afterlife. Of course, since the lunar citizens and the moon rabbits aren't immortal, they can die in, for example, accidents or battles. Still, even the citizens of the lunar capital bear just the faintest trace of impurity. Even we may be fated to die someday. Our master has lived even longer than Lord Tsukuyomi. When he moved to the moon and built the capital, the one he relied on the most was our master, Lady Yagokoro. Wow. My sister, have you come to watch the sea again? If you're so concerned to come here so often, does that mean something has happened after all? Yorihime's voice called out to me. Once I stopped to think about it, it seemed quite some time had passed. No, if we were to believe the contents of Lady Yagokoro's letter, then no change should have already occurred. I hope that's the case. I was watching the sea while wondering if someone would attack from Earth, and it reminded me of long ago. Long ago? Do you mean when Lady Yagokoro betrayed the moon and hid herself on Earth? No, much longer ago. Do you remember, Yorihime? Even longer ago? Over 1,000 years ago? I can't quite recall offhand, of course. This happened over 1,500 years ago, and I can remember from even before then. Come now, don't you remember when that human from Earth came riding on a turtle from the Sea of Tranquility? We're standing before the Sea of Tranquility, but the moon seas are its closest points to the Earth. As a result, living things from the earth would occasionally find their way there. Wow. This phenomenon is called spirit away mentioned on Earth. However, this doesn't refer to just things finding their way to the moon. It also refers to things getting lost in the past, the future, heaven, hell, and various other places. Long ago, Lady Okoro explained to us why this happens. From a quantum point of view, possible events will absolutely always happen. This is because in the quantum world, everything is decided by probability, but it's impossible to capture that probability with exact precision. As long as an unrealized event has a non-zero probability, no matter how low it is, will occur at some point. Since the universe is built on quantum phenomena, it's not all that unusual that living things from Earth should find their way to the moon. After all, that's how even we came to live on the moon. Bloody hell, man. Bloody hell. First philosophy, now quantum physics. Touhou, man. Damn. Right away I understood Lady Okoro's lesson. Damn! And now I am the one of the very few who have ever had the ability to bind together Earth and the moon, who have the power to go back and forth between them and at will. The Lunarians had long ago realized that our world is built on probability, that absolutely anything can happen. That was what enabled them to move from Earth to moon in the first place. Digressing somewhat, the human scientific community on Earth awakened to the fact that the microscopic world is built on potential some decades ago. This development shocked Lord Tsukuyomi. This is because the one thing the Lunarians feared the most is that the humans from Earth will find a way to get to the lunar capital. But now all that's happened is the launch of a primitive rocket to the side of the moon that's closest to them. But we can't afford to be careless. Right, literally, man. Over 1500 years ago, a human from Earth suddenly appeared and riding a turtle? Well, it was quite a while ago. The time when Mizue no Ura no Shimako came to the moon much further back than when our master went to Earth. Yeah, Krim, I freaking love that, man. Most humans victim of spiriting away go straight into a state of panic, and they seem to want to return to the world in Isekai. So as soon as I find them, I typically use my power to send them back. However, he was different. As soon as he regained his senses and saw the lunar capital, he forgot about returning to Earth and began to say he wanted to stay here a little longer. Maybe he was a little slow, but since I was interested in the people of Earth as well, I let him stay in our mansion for a while, keeping it a secret from Lady Yogakoro. Oh, is that who she married? Wait, no, surely not, because this is the story of Urano Shimako. He was a fisherman, and one day as he was setting out as usual, he saw a strange turtle with a dazzling shell in 5 colors. Since it was so unusual and beautiful, he decided to make it his by any means and set his boat in pursuit of it. Agreed. Like, I mean, if you think about it, we have a tablet in which we can control nearly everything. Like, it's crazy. We have a scroll or a tablet in which we can control so much in the world, bro. Like, it's wild how it works, isn't it? Absolutely nuts, man. Like, I am talking to people from all over the world right now through like invisible packets in the sky. Crazy, absolutely crazy. All right. Well, welcome back. He followed out to sea so far that he couldn't even see the shore. Oh, tongue twister. And eventually dove into the sea and caught it. But his boat, which should have been nearby, had suddenly disappeared. So he simply clung to the back of the turtle and it led him in its wandering with no destination in mind. And so without realizing, and because he didn't exactly, man. It's crazy. No. And so without realizing, he had slipped out of his own world and into a totally different world. He arrived at the lunar capital, mistaking it for the country across the ocean. The land across the ocean was, of course, the lunar capital, but he believed it was the land of Horai. I told him this wasn't the case and fed him the lie that it wasn't in the land of Horai, but at the Dragon King's palace at the bottom of the sea. I said the 5-color turtle was a lost pet of mine, and that when I'd gone looking for it, I'd found it with him clutching to its back. I lied to him because of the interest Earth humans had in the lunar capital, because I was afraid that someone powerful might find it. In retrospect, I believe that my judgment was wrong, and this mistake was corrected through the action of Lady Yagokoro. When Urano Shimako saw the amazing sight of the lunar rabbit singing and dancing, he was incredibly moved. He was amazed that the bottom of the ocean was such an enjoyable place. The stars are visible along with the sun during the day from the lunar capital. So it became... I was going to say, what about the earth, the sun, and the stars? So it became doubtful when he first looked at the sky. Why are there so many stars in the sky on the bottom of the ocean, he asked. So I told him they weren't stars, but the shimmering forms of fish dancing in the ocean. He was impressed that they were so far beneath the sea that even fish looked like little dots. And so Urano Shimako spent 3 years in the lunar capital under these false impressions. It was truly unusual for someone from Earth to spend so much time. Wow. But that's why I remember it so clearly. But it seems Yorihime doesn't have a strong impression of that time. Mizue no Urano Shimako? Ah, yes, I remember such a human. He loved fishing. Eventually became quite a splendid god, didn't he? Oh my! After 3 years had passed, he began to speak of a yearning for home. Most humans would be a little homesick after a few hours, but it took quite a bit of time for him to feel that way. That's right. That human. He's a Tsutsugawa deity now. Not a bad place for a simple fisherman to end up. Damn! As soon as he began to say he wanted to go home, nothing here could move him anymore. All he ever did was complain about how much he wanted to go home. I had no reason to keep a human here who wanted to go back home. Bro, I think I would have simply fallen in love with one of the Lunarians, bro. With her, fam. I'm just saying. Simply, since I'd kept an impure human here for so long in secret, it was better to send him back before I was found out. However, there's one thing I worried about. If someone asked him where he had been the past 3 years, he'd surely speak of everything he'd seen here. That might make people interested in the Dragon King's palace. In the lunar capital. It would be a problem for the capital. I confessed everything to Lady Yagokoro and consulted with her on what the best course of action would be. To my surprise, Lady Yagokoro wasn't angry at all that I kept a human here for so long. Lady Yagokoro's advice was, it's best to make someone like that Excuse me? Oh, was she already married by then? Oh, shoot, my bad. I did not think that she was married. Okay, yo, I take it back. It's best to make someone like that dead, man. People on Earth would treat someone who went out to sea 3 years ago like he has... I didn't know, I promise! And hasn't been seen since as dead. Well, this is generally what you'd expect to happen if you half-heartedly hide someone living... half-heartedly hide some living thing that's come here from Earth so long ago. Yes, the great Tsutsugawa deity, though it seemed laughable to us that such a greedy fisherman could be revered as a god. She said she wasn't married, I swear! Oh my god. I'm kinda wondering if I should tell a story. Okay, alright. I actually can't elaborate on this one, right? But I dated someone once. And it turned out she was married. That's it. We move on. There's no, bro, I'm actually scared about going into detail about that one, bro. So yeah, bro, that was a bloody shocker. Bro, that's why, man. I'm telling you right now, bro. Like, miss me with IRL relationships right now, man. Like, let me have my 2D, bro. Let me have my waifu holo, bro. Yeah, it was a big yikes, man. It was a big yikes, bro. Yo, why is this what, bro? First, Nice Nature gets one story out of me, and now Touhou gets this other story out of me. That is crazy. Yeah, I haven't had the best of luck when it comes to relationships, evidently. But anyways, we move on. All right. Man, story telling me be story. It's true, man. It's true. Oh god, how crazy is that? That is stuff that you'd literally see in a flipping soap opera, man. It was bad, bro. Ay. Funny, I told you again. Appearance on 20 people start simping for. Oh man. All right. Lady Yagokoro advised us to kill him right away, but you felt too sorry for him to carry it out. Yeah. Oh man. Of course, the fact that I'd looked after him so long made it difficult to kill him. My sister was the same, so she didn't want to kill him either. So you're saying you absolutely would fall for it? No, bro. Like, lesson well learned, man. To be fair, there was no way I was gonna fight. There was no way I would have known, bro, until she confessed to herself, which I'm glad she did. But my god, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. Damn, not a fun time. That actually messed me up for a bit, bro. Oh yeah. Oh man. Of course, the fact that, yeah, it's true. What can you do? They're like, exactly, man. What can you do, bro? Yeah. But you know who won't lie to me? 2D waifus, bro. Exactly. I'm just saying. That being the case, we asked if there were any other ways to deal with the situation. Lady Yagakoro smiled and said, of course, you're both too kind for that. There you go. Yeah. The alternative was to send him into an era where nobody remembered. Yeah. Oh my god. Jeremiah? Freaking crazy. Crazy. Absolutely wild, man. Some TDI. Not the ones I pick. The alternative was to send him to an era where nobody remembered who Mizue no Urano Shimako was. In other words, to create a time difference between the Dragon King's palace and the Earth of a factor of almost 100. Just 100? Okay. And return him to a time 300 years after he left. At the time, we didn't understand why that solution was best. If we sent a human back to a world where he didn't know anybody, he'd just be confused, and he'd still tell everyone about the Dragon King's palace. However, Lady Yagakoro was never wrong. We placed our absolute trust in her, so we took her advice. We sent him back to a world 300 years after he left. We decided to place him into cryogenic storage, which was cutting-edge medical technology at the time, over 1500 years ago, and return him to the Earth after he slept for nearly 300 years. Of course, we hadn't suspected that our sudden parting with Lady Yagakoro awaited us less than 300 years away. Why you bring that up now? I was wondering what we should do if someone comes like that from Earth again. Thus, Mizue no Urano Shimako was brought to the lunar capital on the back of a 5-color turtle and spent 3 wonderful years there before being returned to an Earth where 300 years had passed. Something felt wrong as soon as he reached the sandy beach. The white sand, the pine trees, the blue sky, even though nothing at all should have changed since the day he sets out fishing, he felt unease on the air. The anxious Urano Shimako returned to his house, but where his house should have been, there was an empty expanse of grass. Even when he went to his friends' houses, Even when he went to his friends' houses, the people living here had no recollection of him. Not a single person in the village knew who he was. He fell into despair. Now I think we should send them back right away or kill them. We're not any fool now. I think we should send them right back away or kill them. We're not as foolish now as we were then. Or are we not as kind as we were 1500 years ago? Story doesn't end there though. I know, right? It said that before Lady Yagakoro went into hiding on the Earth, she sent Urano Shimako Tamakushige as a gift. It's also said that she sent a message along with it. If you ever become troubled by your new life on Earth, open this box. However, if you ever want to return to the Dragon King's palace, you must absolutely never open it. Oh, I wonder what exactly was in that. Now that Lady Yagakoro is no longer here, there's no way to find out or to reproduce it. Yeah, man. In any case, it seems that almost as soon as he returned to Earth, Urano Shimako opened it. Probably too depressing to continue living in a world where nobody would remember him. With a loud cry, he opened it. However, his misfortune did not end there. In an instant, all of his body lost... Oh no! In an instant, all of his body lost all of its youth, and he quickly aged to the point where he could no longer even walk. Something had been sealed inside that hastened his aging. But this sudden aging was a blessing in disguise. The old man knew about things that happened 300 years ago, was treated as a living god. This strange tale was believed to be a tale from the world of gods and became a legend in the village. Few people in that age lived to be as old as he was, and he couldn't read the script of the time, but still could converse with others. If Urano Shimako had appeared to be young, his story would have probably remained idle gossip. At length, Urano Shimako's story touched the ears of the then current Emperor Junna. Emperor Junna listened to Urano Shimako's tale of the Ryugujo, and he believed that he had found the fabled land of Tokoyo across the sea, the land of Horai, so he took great interest in the man. The land of Horai was a land of eternal youth, so all of authority figures by the age were searching for it desperately. By then, the legend had become somewhat cliched, and people began to doubt the existence of the land of Horai. So hearing the legend of Urano Shimako pleased the emperor greatly. Is this real? Is Emperor Junna real? Emperor Junna set about his plans immediately, but it was already too late. Urano Shimako was so old he couldn't take a single step. By the time the emperor's men found him, he had already breathed his last. The emperor recognized Mizuo no Urano Shimako as one of the few men to have ever gone to the land of Horai and returned, erecting a temple in his honor and bestowing upon him the Tsutsugawa divinity. Mizuo no Urano Shimako. Interesting. A man who had been spirited away by chance, he was entered into the ranks of gods, and by doing so strengthened people's faith in the land of Horai. into the lunar capital and made all of the era's authority figures aware of the majesty of its people. I wonder if our master knew that this would happen. No. That's a foolish question. Foolish question. Of course she knew. If she hadn't, then having him put into cryogenic storage for 300 years and preparing the Tamaku Shige that would age him was just idle play. A master... Bro, she is Aizen out here. A master may have seemed the harshest one of us at first, but she was in fact the kindest. Now it seems... traveling hundreds of years into the future, it's called the Urashima effect. He's become a god and his name is left to history. I'm sure it's made him happy. Hey, Yorihime, I wonder if we can predict what will happen so far in advance. It would be nice since it seems like someone may come from the earth. Wow, thank you for that, Ray. Thank you. We enjoyed reminiscing, but suddenly, Yorihime made a grim face. We've learned quite a few things since Lady Agakoro left us. Wow, man. Yorihime looked out to the sea and continued. We learned that it's impossible for us to have such a deep comprehension of the future, that careless kindness can be problematic both for humans and Lunarians. I placed a hand on Yorohime's tense shoulder. In that case, when the invaders from the earth come, we'd have to do our best to repel them right away. My sister, that sounds like something Lady Agakoro would say. It's because I'm the older one. But we lived so long that a difference like that is insignificant. No matter how many thousands of years pass, that age difference is still something that will never change. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like what happens to the isekai world when you're gone, right? You're returned back to Earth, isn't it? Wow. That means you'll retire first, doesn't it? Just like Lady Agakoro. Yorihime smiled a bit. Seeing that, I lifted my hand from her shoulder and asked, by the way, have the rabbits perfected their drill? Yorihime sighed and responded, I suppose so. They're all doing their best, but I'm afraid we're a bit understaffed. I think I've been spending most of my time retraining our new recruit, Raysen. Raysen mentioned. But she just isn't very strong. I bet a lot of the rabbits assigned to Pounding Mochi are pretty dull lot that just love singing. They're probably not worth much on the battlefield. The old Raysen had some talent. I wonder where she is now. Oh. Wait, what? Our new recruit Raysen, the old Raysen had some... What do I mean? The rabbits assigned to be lunar emissaries have relatively strict regulations and involve no small amount of physical training. So it's not that unusual for rabbits to run away. Raysen was a rabbit who'd done just that before the start of the last war. Raysen was exceptionally talented. She could hide easily and disturb the minds of others. However, she was also somewhat cowardly and self-centered. Obviously, these were potentially fatal traits for a soldier, but we couldn't correct them. As a result, she was uncooperative, and before the time for battle came, she abandoned her duties and fled to Earth. Oh my god! Oh my god, okay. Wait, bro, Raysen 2? Actually, Raysen 2. Bruh. I see. Right, okay. It was our job to search for Raysen and bring her back to the moon, but over 4 years had passed since then, and there's no point in pursuing the matter further. We decided she'd probably been made into some humans too, or had been tainted by Earth's impurity and could no longer be admitted back into the lunar capital. Got you. Right. Huh. Yeah. Okay, I was wondering, like, for some reason, I think I was just, like, confusing her with someone else. Okay. It was about 3 months earlier that this rabbit had come to us with in a wounded condition. She said that she had tired of pounding Mochi and fled to Earth, but Lady Agakoro entrusted a letter to her there, so she came back to the moon. It had been hundreds of years since we'd ceased the investigation into her whereabouts, so we hadn't thought that she would reach out to contact us. The contents of a letter told how to protect the lunar capital. I can't return to the lunar capital anymore, and I don't intend to cause any trouble by contacting you in this manner, but I had to do something to tell you that somebody on Earth is plotting something untoward against the moon. Since I thought it would be too dangerous to contact you directly, I hope you'll forgive me for using this moon rabbit I happened to meet. We let the rabbit who come with the letter stay in our mansion. The crime of escaping the Earth to avoid pounding Mochi was not a small one. However, she'd done the service of bringing Lady Agakoro's letter to us, and I felt sorry for her, so we gave her the name Raysen and let her stay with us. I see. Plus, our current Raysen was already fled to Earth once. has already fled to Earth. We can't say for sure that she won't try to run away again. If everything happens as Lady Alcora has listened, the invaders from Earth should be coming soon. But I'm still unsure about the situation, Yorihime said, turning to face me. It's best not to rely too much on the rabbits this time, Yorihime. When the time comes to fight, you should fight personally. Very well. Of course, it depends on how many come. It'll be fine. After all, you have many gods on your side. An unexpected emergency interrupted our conversation. Something had flown from the other side of the Sea of Tranquility. The Sea of Tranquility was on the other side of the moon from the lunar capital, so the citizens of the capital and the moon rabbits seldom visited it. With great caution, I observed the being that was flying towards us. It was a small black mass, apparently in the form of a crow. A crow? My sister, a crow is the avatar of the sun. It may be a familiar of Lord Tsukuyomi's sister. No, it's not. I can feel the avarice in its blood, the greed in its eye, the impurity in its wings. If that crow was an avatar of the sun, it would have 3 feet and red eyes. That is a crow from Earth. The crow didn't seem to be able to... Oh! We finished this playlist as well. We're almost done, so I'll just read all this on. I was gonna say, I was like, Yatagarasu, right? Three-legged crow, right? Oh, bruh. The crow didn't seem to be able to see us, but it flew doggedly on. In fact, it seemed to be driven by not any sort of homing instinct, but simply flew straight ahead, never wavering in its path. Eventually, it flew right over our heads. An Earth crow? Perhaps this is another spiriting away. It may be related somehow to the invaders that will come from Earth, so let's follow it. The crow flew straight on, occasionally making minor course corrections. Something is odd. Birds from Earth hardly ever appear here, and its flight seems too mechanical. The crow crossed over the Sea of Serenity and the Sea of Rains and flew on towards the Ocean of Storms. I knew it. That crow flew from Earth to reach the far side of the moon looking for something. That is, it was likely that the crow hadn't come here by accident, but someone had sent it here. The lunar capital was on the far side of the moon, protected by a barrier that hides its existence. As long as the barrier is in place, a human could never reach it. To make its way into that barrier, the crow would have to fly along a predetermined route. But somehow it was following the sea road that should have been invisible to it, with almost computer-like accuracy, like a shikigami. The crow crossed over the Ocean of Storms without dropping its speed. At this rate, it looked like it would cross through the barriers surrounding the capital. My sister, if this continues any further, I believe it will reach the capital. That crow has a great deal of impurity. We can't allow that. Can't allow it to do that. Leaving the crow's pursuit to my sister, I went on ahead to manipulate what was at the crow's destination to lay a trap over the final sea between it and the capital. After pausing to hover over the sea in a completely unnatural fashion, the crow flew directly over my head. Born in the land of impurity, you impure being controlled in malice, your pure land is not here. As I spread my hands, the sea beneath my feet immediately began to drain its water, and the parched earth beneath it began to show through. A barren mountain devoid of grass or trees, the remnants of machines from the humans' lunar expeditions, a black sky, and a world without any air. The desolate near side of the moon. This is the lunar world that the humans discovered. It is an exceedingly cruel, lonely world. Having suddenly lost its atmosphere and gravity, the crow spiraled slowly towards the ground, foaming at the mouth. Before long, it expired. Unable to breathe, it asphyxiated. Oh no. Right. I have the power to connect mountains and seas. I am also the only person with the power to connect the near and far sides of the moon. Once I confirmed the crow was no longer moving, the sea was filled again with water, and our plentiful land came into view once more. My sister, what happened to the crow? It's dead. This crow was sent to the moon by someone. It was definitely heading towards the lunar capital, and knowing that now, clearly it was best to kill it. Yes, that certainly was for the best. I believe we'll need to study this crow's corpse a bit. Yorihime, would you look into that for me? I'm already quite busy attending to the rabbits training. Don't you have quite a bit of free time yourself, my sister? And I do love my free time, so didn't even deny it. You have no sense of urgency, my dear sister. You're always eating peaches and going to the ocean. If you ever do show up to training sessions, you're only engaging the rabbits in idle chatter. But investigating isn't my specialty. Well, I usually leave war, battle, instruction, and investigation to my sisters, so I told myself I really ought to contribute something once in a while. Alright, I understand. I'll handle the examination. We smiled to lighten the mood, but there was tension in our smiles. Wow. Oh, okay, there's the little flavors down the way of the kettle, a splendid treasure box. And there we go. My goodness, man. Look at that. Cage in Lunatic Runa Gate. The 3rd chapter completely finished now. My god. Yo, thank you so much, Krim. Appreciate you massively, man. That was incredible. I'm gonna see what I can kill. Krim, if you can give me at least chapter 4, like whenever you can. I'm gonna see if I can make it into like a light novel looking format. No promises, but worst case scenario, we'll just continue with this format. But bro, the lore dump has been incredible. My God, I love how we got perspectives from so many different parties here, man, about the situation. Yeah. Crazy stuff. But guys, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed. I love reading it because I get to read it and I get to learn more information. But for you guys to experience that as content, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and thank you, Krim, for that as well. Appreciate it massively. But guys, that will do it for the YouTube section of the stream. We now have music to check out, so we will be going right on over to Twitch. All right. Exactly. And then what is it? Is the stuff after it coming next? Yeah. Damn. All right. That Touhou is now 30 years old. That is, oh my God, it's almost as old as me, bro. Crazy. All right, guys. Thank you very much. See you now. No. We're going right on into it, guys. Okay. This is Shabir from Velo City, and I will see you in literally a few minutes over on Twitch. Hold on. I'll just drop this right here. All right. There you go. All right. Peace, guys. See you in a couple of minutes. Take it easy. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.